There are some freaky ass stories, aren't there?
They really are.
I'm making a server really quick. Parkour volcano. Select. Proximity host name. Parkour stuff 3.
So the server's named Parkour Stuff 3.
Yeah, it's just parkour stuff 1, 2, and 3. You cannot create any more servers. Alright, which one are we Thanos snapping away? Skibbity. I don't know. We're getting rid of Skibbity. Stuff
Yeah.
3. Parkour stuff 3. Select world. Parkour volcano. Slots, only like 10. And name. Parker. I'm calling it Parker.
Parker. Everybody loves Parker.
I hate Discord. It said I got a DM, but I didn't get a DM.
I think it did. Maybe.
Right,
I mean,
I'm starting Parker.
It usually does that when, like it's from a server. I need the IP. I love Parker. If you don't love Parker, then you don't love anyone. Oh wait, before we start, gotta get the am I the asshole for telling my mother she should kill her now? Like that kind of stuff.
Am I the a-hole for 3-year-old son to kill himself because he'll never amount to anything in life?
I would not be surprised if that's a story. There's so many weird stories.
From the screen to the ring, to the pen, to the king, where's my crown? That's my it's Ramo and Audi. Volcano.
Why are people saying the song is actually good now?
It's so bad. It's just like genuinely not a good song. Alright, I got the idea. Alright, I'm about to boot up the screen share.
Screen share. Okay,
he couldn't allow her behavior to continue and disrupt everyone else as she was becoming
What is that skin, bro?
Melissa left during our sophomore year and didn't return until after we had graduated. She enrolled in a school near the rehab center and stayed with her aunt.
What the?
I didn't see her during those years because I had no interest in how my biggest bully was doing. My parents visited her every weekend.
1 second, my dad's calling me.
She was arrested with her friends one night for breaking into a house while drunk. This incident finally pushed our parents to take action. After weeks of pleading and protesting, they managed to send her to a rehabilitation center for troubled teens.
My dad needs
Though she was unhappy.
Okay.
You're live streaming this?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't get that stuff out of my head. Or out of my head. Get out of my head. Oh my god, is that raster.png? Everyone who's watching, which is nobody, everyone from now on call raster. Call it raster.png or ranster. That's the better name. Oh my god. 3 hours? Oh my god, we went through 2 hours of it already? Rester.png. Oh, I wonder. Wait. I have saturation. So what is all this? Take me back. Take me back. Are you alive? Back. On the spot. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
3 hours of interesting stories to fall asleep to is wild, bro.
We're playing that while doing parkour.
Where's Raster?
Rester's dad was home.
I'm back.
Finally.
Sorry it took so
Sigma.
long. What the heck? What is he doing here? Get out!
My one viewer.
Okay.
Bored.
Wait,
Alright,
hold up.
I'm
Don't
back
start
on
it
the-
yet. Wait, don't start it. I want to join.
Us and be part of it.
Alright, so you have to have the Reddit stories going in the background.
It's only
I'm watching your stream. Does that do?
it's only a temporary change to my skin. Nothing.
Only a
Why
temporary.
is that your skin? Do you have essentials on?
No, I've been working on a video. And
Where am I?
You look disgusting.
I know.
What the shift?
The point.
What? What the
Hey,
frick
hey,
is
hey, hey! We don't have a.
Okay, wait, we have to have the Reddit stories on, bro. We have to.
I know. I
Wait,
need to do something.
Shadow Flare, what is that skin? Oh, you can hit people? Okay, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's not hit each other.
Okay,
Okay, ready? Go.
I'm ready.
No.
Wait, we don't have the stories. Wait, stop.
Stories,
Shadow
the
Flare.
stories,
Shadow
the
Flare.
stories.
Yeah,
Wait, do you
I know.
instantly die when you touch the lava?
No.
No.
But when you die, you get teleported back to the.
I'm giving us all resistance really quick
Nope.
because we need it for the.
Rester, don't. We get teleported to the checkpoint.
Do the command block? I don't know if the command block.
Yeah, they do. They do. The checkpoints work.
Okay, fine. I'm turning on the stories.
Family. She had to improve.
Yeah!
Allow her behavior to continue
No!
to disrupt everyone else as she was becoming a mess.
I suck so bad.
Melissa left during our sophomore year and didn't return.
Melissa!
Graduated.
Melissa.
What? You little
What is this?
bitches. You little bitches.
Because I had no interest in how my biggest bully was doing. My parents visited.
Guys, how do I do this?
Always
No!
asked me to
Use
join,
fire.
but I always said no.
Oh, you have to
Her friends ignored me after she left, which greatly improved.
Wait, did I hit this?
experience.
Okay, I
I
did.
no longer had anyone constantly bullying me. Melissa continued her education
Yeah,
in
I don't
rehab,
know
and
why
when
I
she
read
returned, the first thing she did was
Why is her name
things
Melissa?
that put me through. She seemed much calmer,
Oh, you gotta
and I
wait
thought
for
she
rest.
had genuinely changed.
Yeah,
So
this-
No.
Aaron,
Yes.
where
we were
are
both
you
heading
going?
off to
I'm
college.
about
in a
to-
Fine. I'll wait. I'm back.
Run.
Once college started, we both
Wait, it doesn't teleport you back. It teleports you to the beginning, bro.
She
It
was much
teleports you
nicer
to
to
your
me.
most recent
Not in the sense of
checkpoint.
being friendly.
Yeah, I hit
Simply ignored me
the
instead of
checkpoint up there, bro.
constantly picking on me as she used to.
Don't die.
I had no reason to suspect anything even after getting engaged.
This is why I'm
Both
betraying.
acted as if nothing was happening.
Well,
I never thought Greg might have feelings for Melissa. It never
Feelings for Melissa?
Greg
I thought
he
Melissa
was
was
in
like
love with me,
16.
all while cheating on me with Melissa.
Wait a
Oh.
She
second.
also pretended to be my friend, so I didn't find out the
That's a good
truth until it was
question,
too
isn't
late.
it?
Hey, I sure hope so.
My parents wanted to track them
You
down
asked
and bring
why
them
am I
back,
watching
but
this
I
if you're
convinced them to
still
let it go
watching?
because I just wanted to forget everything. Pretty devastating that Greg and Melissa made a fool of
You
me
guys aren't very good at
before
this.
my wedding.
One second, I
couldn't
need to turn up the
handle any more
Reddit
drama.
stories.
I was
Yeah, you
deeply
do.
depressed and emotional.
There we go.
For weeks, I buried myself in work and sleep to
That is
avoid
just
confronting
content
my
warning
heartbreak.
right now.
My heart was shattered and I felt
Is
numb,
he?
You have to
but
wait for
worse
Shadow.
was
We have
yet
to
to
wait for
come.
Shadow.
A couple
You
of
guys
weeks
tried
after
to
the day
go
that should have
without
been
me.
my wedding, I received a postcard from Melissa. She was
Okay, I'll wait for Shadow.
and
I'll wait for
included a bunch
Shadow.
of photos of her and Greg looking incredibly happy.
so,
It was clear she
Why is
was
his name Greg?
She
Why
mentioned
is
being
his
sorry
name
about the
Greg?
surprise before
What
my
kind of
wedding,
name is
but it
Greg?
was obvious she wasn't truly sorry. She
The
just
command
wanted to
blocks
hurt me.
don't work.
That's when I realized
What
she
did I
would
do?
never
Oh,
forgive
go.
me for what happened years ago and blamed me for being sent away.
Shadow.
There are lots
She
of
never
places
wanted to be my
go.
friend. She used me to get to Greg.
the cop.
Oh my god, I didn't hit the slime block.
Stepping stone
Are you
to a
kidding me?
malicious plan.
Shadow, go
I
down.
have to
Go down
admit,
the,
for days after receiving that postcard, I couldn't sleep because I
We're
was losing my
teaching
mind.
Shadow Flare.
It was a traumatic experience, and I needed months of therapy to heal and address my trust issues.
Why was it?
What did Melissa do to my guy?
Sent me pictures of her and Greg for months. It only stopped
Wait,
after
stop, I'm
about
trying
a
to
year
listen.
because I never responded or engaged with her drama. Our parents were furious and cut all ties with her
I
after
did
the
it.
first postcard.
Yeah,
Give
I reached
ourselves
out to her
resistance
again,
'cause it-
which was a
'cause it,
significant
like,
loss for
actually kills
Melissa
us.
because she
yeah. Give us all resistance so, like, when we fall down and die, we don't permanently,
However,
like, go
after
back
her
to the
betrayal,
beginning.
our father severed all ties with her and offered me the opportunity to work with him instead, feeling the need to make amends in a significant way. Unlike her,
Yes!
I had a degree.
We love a bad boy
which had nothing
king.
to do with business. Therefore, I needed to learn the ropes from scratch. My
Alright,
father
I'm on my
assured
way
me
back.
this wasn't an issue and was eager to teach me everything he knew so I could eventually take over the
Wait, what the heck is this?
I agreed and started
Wait, you
working
guys
under
have
him
to
to
leave
learn how to
Remy.
run the
We
business,
have
allowing
rules
him to
here. We
retire
have
and hand over the reins to me.
procedures.
After a few years
Damn.
of hard work, I was promoted last year, and my father retired.
Where are you?
It was
You
a
are not
fantastic
waiting for us,
feeling.
fella.
I'm
I
up
started from the
here.
bottom and learned everything I
I
needed
have
to know.
I also have to turn
Now,
on
the
resistance,
business
so-
runs smoothly under my management, and my parents can enjoy their time together without worrying
Yeah, see?
about
I'm
it.
right here.
Thanks to my efforts.
Stupid
For a
action.
long time,
Alright,
I
let me
immersed
get
myself
ourselves-
in
Shadow, you
helped me
idiot!
move on from Greg. The combination of work and therapy allowed
No,
me,
Greg!
and I no longer think about Greg or what he did.
I'm bored.
I never expected to hear from them again,
Animate.
let alone have them ask for my help.
Who is your viewer right now, bro? They're
Serious
like,
lack of common sense to
is
ask
this
for my
guy
help after betraying
mentally
me,
ill?
humiliating me, and flaunting me.
Oh,
Yet
Why would
Melissa and
anyone
Greg
want-
must indeed
that's
lack
not
sense,
waiting for Shadow.
because that's
I'm
exactly
waiting
what
for
they did a
Shadow.
few days ago. It was the weekend, and around lunchtime, my doorbell rang frantically. Thinking it was the pizza I ordered, I didn't think much of it.
The pizza, yeah!
When I opened the door, instead of the delivery
Wait,
guy,
what am
there
I?
stood Melissa,
Wait.
looking extremely worried. Speechless, I waited
Wait,
for her to speak.
what are you
It was
supposed to
clear
do
she
here?
was there to ask for help. She looked destitute and her
Wait.
appearance betrayed her situation. Melissa, always impeccable,
Wait, what do you...
now wore old faded clothes that looked long out of date.
That's
Her
a
jeans were too
possible
short,
jump?
and she
Oh,
appeared malnourished.
that's actually
I
really
had
easy.
already decided that whatever she asked, my answer would be
How
no.
did Shadow... Ah!
She explained that she and Greg had been struggling
There's a head
since
hit.
he lost his job a few
Raptor,
months ago.
you
Oh,
don't...
Instead of job hunting, he had taken to drinking.
Albert's watching.
Although she had been trying to find a job,
Al,
Come here, I
oh.
can take you
unsuccessful
across the
because she
lake.
had left
Come
the
here, I can
workforce
take
to
you
handle
across the lake.
household chores when she
No,
moved
I
in
got
with
this
Greg.
myself. Thank
This
you very
gap in
much.
resume made her a
Crouch
less
across the lake
attractive
with me.
candidate for the job she
Or don't
applied
crouch,
for.
that works too.
She had heard from relatives that our father had retired and
No, my
handed the business over
boots!
to me, so she came to ask if I would hire Greg. Melissa admitted she hadn't.
You lose your Gucci boots, bro.
Because she believed I had a kind
No,
heart
my
and felt
God.
immense guilt over her past
I don't
betrayal,
know why you're-
confident I wouldn't turn her away.
Oh my
Now that
god,
she needed
that's...
my
I
help,
hate bamboo
her
parkour,
entitlement
bro.
was so absurd that I laughed at her
Move,
face and told
Shadow!
her to apply
No,
elsewhere because I
you.
don't hire cheaters.
You guys
Then I
don't
shut
seem
the
like
door
you're
and
waiting
walked
for me
back
very
to the
much.
living room, ready to call the
We'll
cops
wait
if
for
she
you.
didn't leave soon. Fortunately, she left that day, but she hasn't stopped
This
bothering
is
me.
not very easy.
After her visit, I
Parkour
called our
volcano
parents
is
to tell
insane.
them
The other
about
two
it.
were so boring.
They said they'd heard from neighbors that Melissa was back in town without Greg but hadn't mentioned
Remember
it.
the 100?
In our
Without
small
Greg!
news
Without Greg!
So we quickly found out that Melissa had been in town for about a week, staying with an old high school
Wait,
friend.
what?
It was likely this friend who told her where I lived and that I had inherited the business she thought should have been hers.
Hey, both of
She's
you.
now really playing that card.
Money.
A few days after
Why do I
visiting me,
play with you
she went
guys?
to our parents to complain about how heartless I was.
It's
Oh my
because I
God,
don't
Them
have
to
any
side with her,
teammates.
thinking she had the upper hand by playing the victim, but she was wrong. My father told her that the
Dude,
business
I
was
love
mine to run
this.
and I could make my
Ow!
own decisions. He wasn't going to interfere.
Hey guys,
Reminded
where'd
her
you
that she
guys
had betrayed me by
go?
running away with my fiance after pretending.
You
to be
don't
my
seem like
friend.
you're waiting
So she
for me that
deserved
much,
whatever was
Raster.
happening to her.
Oh,
Melissa had lost the right to ask any of us for help, especially after sending me postcards to torment me. She tried to defend herself.
I didn't know what I was supposed
She is a
to do.
different person now,
Hi,
but my
Shadow.
parents
I'm
told her to
eating it,
leave,
don't have any-
wanting nothing to do with her anymore.
Well, at
She
least-
threw a tantrum, accusing them of always favoring me and treating me like the golden child while ignoring her. My father responded that he had made more allowances for her behavior.
Wait, is
than any
Melissa
other
his
parent.
sister or
She
his
insisted
girlfriend?
it
I
didn't
can't
matter.
tell.
I had
The main
everything she was supposed to have,
not main
including the
character,
business I was flaunting.
Hey!
She claimed
Sorry,
it
I
was
didn't
her
mean
fault
to. I
for her
forgot that you could
Yet
punch.
she felt she was being punished for it.
I forgot that you
She
could
said the postcards
punch.
she sent were
Why would
sincere
we not be
apologies,
able to
not attempts to torment me.
Because I thought it was gonna be common sense.
Thinking about her words since my father.
Oh, my game froze.
It's true she was supposed to inherit the business and be in my position, but she lost that because of her own actions.
That makes sense.
I never asked my father to cut her out and give me the business. He did that on his own.
I'm sorry,
It seems
guys.
unfair for her to blame me. She also accused me of
I
being
need to
the
take
golden
my- I
child,
was gonna take
which
my
isn't
anger
true,
out on Erie
but I can see why
because
she thinks
they'll,
that. She
That's
believes
not
she
very
was sent
nice
away
of you,
because I
Raster.
complained about her bullying. It's a big deal
the one
for a
who
parent to
punched me
decide to
into a
send their
pool of
child away,
lava.
and I know it was
Listen, but that's.
but again, that's not my fault. If he hadn't
Show me
been
burning the
Melissa
thing!
might have ended up in even more trouble
Bye.
because of the past.
Oh, guys, I'm in a bit of a predicament. Can you burn the floor?
She was probably just trying to.
Can you guys burn the floor? I can make it. I can make it. I can make it.
Completely useless.
the
Now she
floor.
has to bail him out. She even came to
on.
me for help, which must have
Okay,
been
you're back
I read how I treated her before. I have everything now, and she has nothing, so I can't help but pity her.
Yeah.
That's just who I
Uh-oh.
am. Besides,
This isn't. This isn't. Wait,
holding on to
you guys.
but I also
I have a little bit of an idea.
my sympathy, but I don't want to hire them or give them money.
Oh yeah.
I think it's enough that I even feel
Yeah.
after everything she put me through.
Bye, guys.
Most people wouldn't do.
guys.
The only reason I feel bad for
You're
her now
cheating.
is that this business was supposed to be hers.
I can't go over there. Wait, let me get high up here and then I'll go down there.
And
Okay.
it feels wrong.
So I can actually.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
that
because of
works.
what she said about me being the golden child, or maybe it's just imposter syndrome. But I feel weird about this. So am I the AH for refusing to?
Yeah,
hire my
isn't it literally your sister, bro?
sister? Now that they're struggling with money and need help,
Wait, it was his sister?
I was at a
It was his
loss, and the comments
stepsister.
here only made things more
Raster,
confusing.
I need
Some
help
of you thought I was
again.
right to
That's
turn
not
them away,
good either.
while others claimed I was always the favorite child, causing
Alright,
Melissa
well,
to
Erie,
lash
I
out.
fell down too, so me
This
and you
wasn't
can
as
do it
helpful
together.
as I
Oh well,
I
that's
decided to talk to my parents. as I
Drip
believed
leave.
Their advice.
Can you get hard? Thank you.
Remember when we
They
made
assured me I had no reason to feel
Remember
sorry
when
for
we made
Melissa.
Leaf out of
They
Drip Leaf
said
that one
everyone had
time?
gone above
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh
beyond
yeah,
to
because we
help
got
her.
bored on the test server.
She wasn't willing to
Yeah.
change. There was little we could
Fun
do.
times.
My father
Good
mentioned that he
times,
intended to let
good
her take
times.
over the business
Our
if she
base
had
was
been,
Okay.
and been a good
completely
daughter.
legitimately.
But she failed and embarrassed.
Remember, Erie,
Given
the
that,
floor
take
burned.
over or even be part of the family anymore.
Yeah.
Watch out,
Talking to my
Raster.
parents made me feel much better. So I'll try not to feel guilty about things I haven't done anymore.
Dude, it's your stepsister. What
About
is
a week had
wrong with
passed
you?
since
You're a
Melissa had
freak.
shown up at my door and visited my parents. We hadn't heard from her, and I almost thought she had gone back to Greg until today when she appeared at my workplace and caused a
Oh
scene.
my god.
Dude, what is
It
this
was terrible
lore?
because
This
she
is
just walked
this
in,
goes harder
knowing
than
the
Forge
place well
Relic
from
Season 1
childhood,
lore.
and easily bypassed security. She stood in front of my office, shouting
We all
that I
here?
had stolen the business from her by pretending to be a perfect
How
daughter
would
to
you
our
hit?
parents and constantly sucking up to them to gain their
I don't
approval.
think we're supposed to go
She
down.
accused me of falsely
We
claiming
love
she had bullied
Volcano
me
Mount,
throughout our
guys.
childhood and convincing our father to send her to rehab just to solidify my position as the favored child.
We should listen to the
She
cousins
declared
out
that
on
the
my
business
meat
was
one.
supposed to be hers,
That one.
but I was refusing to let her be a part of it because I
What
was
the frick
jealous
is
of
going
her.
on over there? I can't do
Like
this
our parents
before.
had always favored
I'm
her.
not at my.
She said I had
I'm
lost
not on my
mind for being
regular
overlooked and had
setting.
turned our parents against her.
What is going
When I
on down over there.
I called
Where do I
security
go?
and went to see
Where
what
do I
was
get up?
happening.
Where do I get up?
I tried to tell her to shut up, but she continued for a few more minutes until security finally
Over
threw
here.
her out of the building. I called my dad before contacting the police to get his opinion, and he was furious. He told me to go ahead and call the cops.
Go.
Luckily, when the police arrived, she was still
Did they really just hit Raster's brown bear skin?
me again, or maybe even physically attack me. The police took her away and charged her with trespassing and disturbing the peace.
Oh
They are
dang!
minor
You really you really
Get
called
off
the
with a
police
fine or
because you got
community
hit by a
service at
woman?
worst, but it will go on her record.
What?
Which
They are a woman. What?
I informed my dad about the charges
are?
and arrest, expecting him
Yeah,
to
that
be
means
upset, but he just
the
seemed
poster's a
exasperated
woman.
and said he was tired of dealing with her craziness.
Really?
I feel
Oh,
bad
we're
for him
supposed to
because
go
it must
down
be hard
here.
having a daughter like myself and being
Don't
able
miss
to
it, don't miss it,
everything that
don't
goes
miss
wrong
it.
in her life, even though it's
I'm going to
usually
wait
her
for
own
Shadow.
fault.
Okay,
Honestly,
I'll wait
we
down
have all
there.
been really patient.
There's a jacuzzi down
So I
here.
think Melissa has gone back to California because we haven't heard from her in a
There's
few
a
days,
jacuzzi.
which is unusual
Oh,
since
what
we
the-
expected her to lash
Whoa.
out and arrest.
Surround
My dad asked
sound.
around and found out that some people saw her heading towards the airport recently, so it seems she's left. Honestly, it's a huge relief that she's gone because I was really worried she might do something drastic to get our attention, which is never good. I have no idea what she plans to do about the situation with Greg now, as it seems unlikely she'll get
Oh no.
help from anyone
I'm
after
sorry,
this.
Earache.
Oh,
Hope she
you
learns
you
what to do
fool!
and gets
You
out of this
fool!
mess.
You
Not
fool,
out of kindness or
Raptor!
compassion,
You
but because if she
barely
doesn't,
made it.
she'll just come back here with Greg and bother us again. And I don't want that. So I genuinely
Who the
hope
frick
that
is
Greg
Greg,
will
bro?
Wait up for
I'm just
It's an
not listening.
ex-fiance who
For now,
left
at least,
her for
I won't have
his
to hear from her for a
for-
couple
Why are
years,
you
and I
actually
believe
paying
this nightmare is
attention to
finally over.
this?
because it helps
I
me
found out
lock
I was
into the
pregnant with my fourth
parkour.
child not long after divorcing my husband. I'm conflicted about whether I should keep this baby. This is long.
Whoa.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I've sort of written a novel here. I wanted to post it in the relationship advice group.
Oh,
Alright,
wait,
this
you're
doesn't
supposed to
actually
have one.
My ex-husband and I were married for
Later.
although the last two were spent in very
I'm up here. Let's go.
We've been divorced for roughly a year.
Uh-oh.
We have 3 kids. 10, 8.
We're not
5,
supposed to
Guys,
be
just
able
have
to
one.
survive these
Fourth baby.
creepers.
I don't know if we'll actually be
Whatever.
parents to 4 kids or not.
I think
I'm
we're
so
meant to
conflicted.
use this.
We are so conflicted. There was no abuse or
Yeah, how
cheating
are
in
we
our
meant to
marriage.
use the sugar
We
cane,
slept
though?
with
I'm
somebody else
confused.
During our separation.
We're
There
supposed
are
to
a
use them to
variety
climb
of
higher. I know where we have to go.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
divorced.
There's a creeper,
After
by the
the
way.
initial feelings of failure and heartache, and there was an immense amount of heartache on
Alright, I see now. Okay.
filed for divorce, we were able to get along pretty well.
That creeper
It
almost
becomes
messed me
platonic
up.
so quickly,
Guys,
and
I
it's like
made
when
it.
we remove the romantic and married
Die.
relationship from the equation.
He's probably
split time
cheating
with our
on me.
kids
What he's
50-50.
actually doing.
That's really hard for me because being a mom is such a huge.
I have
part of
no
my
idea what is
identity, but I
happening
still
in the story.
sometimes
We're
struggle to
actually
know what to do
talking
with
unlike
myself
last
during this
time.
time with the kids. Ultimately, I'm happy that he's a loving, involved father.
Dude, no!
I'm glad that they do spend half their time
Dude,
with him.
these creepers
Even if
are
I'm still
actually
sometimes
doing me in the butt.
being with them all the time.
Bro, they're actually
still-
being popped. Ah!
Things like that.
Raster,
He has a girlfriend
did you
now.
remove my
She
resistance?
seems nice. He met her
No.
not long after our divorce was
I'm
final.
at the beginning.
It hurt. I cried way too much over it. He waited over 6 weeks
Oh.
to introduce her to our kids. which
Why'd
I
the
was thankful
resistance
for.
run out? Oh,
My
the
kids like
resistance
her.
is back. Oh, the
Our
resistance.
youngest child was unexpectedly admitted.
Oh,
It's okay,
yeah,
it's okay,
I
I'll
know.
catch
I
up.
figured out
He
the
had surgery.
problem.
In the grand scheme of things, it was a pretty
I'll catch
minor
up, I'll
surgery, and
catch
he's
up.
absolutely
This
fine
area
now.
gives you
Baby,
resistance.
and he had to spend
This
multiple
area
nights
gives
in
you
the
resistance,
hospital.
so it
this
canceled
was
out
a
the
big deal
resistance
for me.
I gave.
My ex-husband was there the entire time, being a great dad, being a
So you're
supportive
not
partner
supposed
to me
to
as I
survive.
worried over every little thing.
So you
We
are
spent all
supposed
those
to
nights in the
survive.
hospital
Yeah,
together.
yeah. These
I
creepers
remember
aren't
why I
supposed
married
to hurt you. They're just
He was
supposed to
always
mess
able
you
to
up
be
on
the
the
strong,
parkour, which
level-headed
they do a
rock.
great job at, by
He
the
was
way.
this safe person who
No,
I knew
no,
would take care
you
of
use
everything
them
and
to
protect me.
bounce.
When we were in the
Use the
hospital, he
sugar
told me that I'm
That
the most
didn't
important
come-
woman in his life.
That's it.
When our son was discharged,
I'm gonna crash
my
out.
ex-husband came back to my house. My baby was home safe. Our other two children
Well,
were excited to be home after
Okay,
staying with my
goodbye,
husband's
world.
sister for several nights.
Oh, you don't have the
Use this
virus.
Together at home like a family again. That night after our kids were in bed, we had
I'm gonna
sex.
crash out.
I hadn't
What?
been hoping for
What?
it or planning it. It was just like
We all
as soon as the
just
kids
paid
were tucked away
attention.
on their rooms, we were having this intensely
Wait,
passionate, needy,
did they say-
amazing sex that we shouldn't have been having.
Did
Yeah,
Jack
we
We went to
already
sleep in
up?
my bed, and at some
I need
point in the
my
middle of
res-
the night, we had sex again. The next
Oh,
morning, we
bad
both
for you.
decided our emotions with the whole
Round two.
situation with our son just got the better.
Round 2.
We said we
wait.
didn't regret sleeping together,
Fine.
but that's all it was,
Pastor,
and
can
we
you
were just
teach
going to go
me?
back to our normal divorce
Did
lives.
they,
That's
We
are
wouldn't
you
make it
fucking
awkward.
kidding
did
me?
they do the sticks 9?
Then I found out I was pregnant. We didn't
I
use a
swear to
condom.
God, this has to be
I don't even have
racism, bro.
condoms in my house anymore.
What?
I'm not on birth
Shut up!
I haven't been since we divorced.
Dude, what
I haven't needed it since I haven't had the time or
I
interest
don't
to
have
start dating.
resistance, Raptor. I'm scared.
I really wanted to be single for a while. I know I was ovulating.
This
when we
level's a
slept
little bit
together,
harder
which
than
was
the rest
probably
of them.
contributing subconscious.
The animatronic
Dude,
characters here do get a
My
little
body
bit
sees him
quirky
being
at
a good
night.
dad to our kids,
Dude,
and it
I'm
wants
just
another.
using the
My
freaking
cycle is like clockwork,
creepers
and
to
we've
boost
always
me up
conceived
now.
on the first try every time we've tried to get pregnant. Our first kid was not even a try.
Raptor.
It was 2 weeks before your
My
wedding to
fire red
find out
keeps
you're
running
pregnant and
out.
spend your honeymoon with morning sickness.
Why?
So now
I
I'm
don't
about 8
know.
weeks pregnant.
Oh, I
I've known for
didn't
about a week.
give you a
I
specified
just told
time
him
for the
this past
fire
weekend.
resistance.
I didn't know if I would tell him at all. I realized
I'll
now
get rid of
that I
the
only told
particles
him in
after
hopes
we
that
get
he'd
through
tell me
this
what to
area.
do and figure the situation out for me.
Alright.
Only he didn't.
Come on, guys.
I know it makes no sense to have a baby with someone
Shadow,
close to the
shut
baby.
up.
I don't know
I
how.
don't need a fourth
I
child.
did it first try.
Why can't I let go of this though?
Okay, I
It
just
gets
Update.
easier as you get higher.
I posted about a week ago. My ex-husband and I have been divorced for about a year.
It gets easier
We have
as
3
it gets
kids,
higher. A
ranging
creeper
from
just
10,
jumps on my
5
face.
years old. We have gotten along
No!
since the divorce. Better than when we were married. It's almost
Raptor,
like
how
we're
did you
friends.
fail that
Can do
jump?
things with our kids and
Did you
enjoy
just
being
do that?
around
A
each
creeper shot me down.
About
A
2
creeper
months ago,
exploded
our
me
youngest
downward.
unexpectedly ended up having surgery and spending several nights in the hospital. He's fine now. My ex-husband and I stayed together with our son the entire time he was in the hospital. When he was discharged,
These creepers
my ex-husband
have
came
gone
back to
from
my
being
house,
Raptor,
or former
bro.
family home,
No,
at our
Eerie,
son's
you
Shut
just
up,
request.
none of the
walked
creepers
off.
He was
were
just
after
supposed to
you.
spend a few
I
hours
want you
with
to know none of the
Help our
creepers
son
were
get
after
settled,
you.
then go home.
Followed
Yeah,
through,
not enough
just
creepers
walked
I
off.
guess all
spawned
of
in
the
and
emotions
Shadow was
and being
here.
together as a family
I
and our
did
family
Shadow had it
got the
easy.
better of us, and we ended
Shadow,
up
I
having
did
sex
not
There were
twice.
no
walk off.
creepers.
Now I'm 9
There
weeks
were
pregnant.
no creepers besides
I wasn't on birth control.
Shadow,
Was on it
Shadow,
until
I
after our
tried
divorce was
to
finalized,
jump, but the
have been
creeper
intentionally
boosted me
remaining
into the
single for a
block.
while and not involved with men in any way, so was giving my body a break
I'm
from
gonna
birth
crash
control.
out.
Initially, we were undecided about what to do,
Just
but
listen
as
to
of
the
last
Reddit
weekend,
stories.
we made the decision together to have the baby.
Oh, the
It
Reddit
feels
stories
sort
are
of crazy
for
to me. Definitely not a situation I ever imagined I'd
Shadow,
find
where
myself
are
in.
you?
I already picture this
What
baby
Wasn't he
looking just
talking
like our
about
other
sex
kids.
2 seconds ago?
I guess that's why I struggled with the idea
hi,
of
Shadow.
not continuing with the pregnancy,
Guys,
which I know isn't really a valid
Listen,
reason
guys.
to have a baby.
Oh, Leto.
This
She's
is
the
probably
Freddy
the last
Fazbear.
baby
Oh,
I'll
it's
ever
easy.
have.
You're easy. You
I'm
How
have to
did you guys
39,
get
so
over
even if
that?
I were to meet a
You'd
man
have to
who I
do the
trusted enough to
parkour.
want to
There's a
have a
bit more
child with
parkour
and a
you can do.
future with, I'll be well into my
Uh-oh.
40s by then. I
Shadow,
plan to
let's
be
wait
very
for him.
picky, but I'm not even at the
I'm
point of
here.
wanting to
Shadow,
find
let's
somebody
wait for
new
him.
yet.
Down here.
We're not getting back together, for now.
Yeah.
We get along great when we're not married and living in the same house. We feel it'd be irresponsible to all of our children to attempt to get back together right now because of this.
Let's
Chances
go.
are higher that we'll be able to co-parent this baby successfully if we live separately.
Bitch.
However, we are committed to working together to do what has to be done to take care of the baby when he or she gets here. Our kids are doing so great right now, and they seem very happy and secure with the current setup of our lives
Why
at
are we
home,
in
so we
bio
want to stick with this
Minecraft
for now.
brown water? What the?
I don't know if I really understand what I'm getting myself into. Our other kids were all born into a marriage and a two-parent home. I know that sharing custody of a baby can be a lot different than the kids going back and forth between homes. I
How
might
did
be
he?
feeling
Oh, there's
too
a slime
positive
block. I
about
was like,
it,
how
but
did
I
he
think it
make
could
that
work
jump?
out fine.
Also, Shadow, you're
I'm
dumb.
not
The baby will
hacking,
just see this
guys.
as
I'm not
normal.
You
hacking.
were,
Right?
you didn't.
Wait, wait.
We'll be having to explain this to everyone when we tell them. My family and friends will get over it, but I'm especially concerned with
Uh-oh.
explaining it to our kids.
I'm scared.
I'm worried our oldest won't take the news
That,
well.
what the frick?
She also
What
knows
do you
what
want
sex is
from
and how
me?
babies are made. And
I
for everyone
die.
concerned
I
about
mean, I
his
guess I
girlfriend,
didn't die,
she's
but
not
I
his girlfriend
fell.
anymore.
Then
Top-rated
just
comment.
DP'd one
These
of
two
us.
are 100% getting back together within a year and then breaking up again in another. Update 2. Several
Raptor,
people
how
have
did
asked
you
me
fall
for an update
there?
on my situation.
There's a lag.
My ex-husband and I are having a baby.
1 second, I'm going
Understand
My
how
other
he
backwards.
posts
fell
are on my
there.
profile. A recap is
I'll
that
go
we
back
were
to the
married for
beginning,
10
though, 'cause
years,
I did fall. I
divorced
just
for
wanted to
almost
speed up.
1.5
I'm getting
years
called
now,
up.
and have 3 kids together.
I'm getting called.
We slept together twice
I'll be right
during a
back.
stressful family time, and I ended up pregnant.
What?
We've since admitted we are both still in love with each other, but have not actually declared that we're back together, mainly for the same of our kids. I last posted toward the end of January. I'm 28 weeks pregnant. We're having a little girl.
Alright.
As far as the pregnancy goes, it's been like a textbook
I'm
pregnancy,
back.
and so I feel pretty good.
Dang it.
Just more
But
tired than I ever
autistic
remember being during pregnancy before. My husband
sorry.
and I
No,
continue
no,
to
Eerie,
live
come back. I'm
separately and share
sorry.
custody of our kids. We each have them 50% of the time. They're all
I'm
aware that we're having a baby,
sorry.
and none of them seem to be deeply confused or emotionally damaged by their divorced parents having a baby together. We explained it in an age-appropriate way.
I'm sorry.
Our oldest child was more grossed out that her
Rester,
parents
click on
had
the other
sex
one.
than
Rester,
anything
click on the
else,
other one.
since she now understands what sex is and
What?
how babies are made.
You had to click
We've
on
been
the
involved
one
with her quite a bit, and she's excited
Yeah,
now.
that's what I
I
thought.
even took her to
Yuri,
one of
I'm
my
sorry.
appointments.
I'll give you
She's
free
excited
sex.
to have a baby sister, and she understands
That's-
that mom and dad
I
love her and her
think that's-
siblings. That we love this new baby.
You have all
and
the-
that
you have
we
all
love
the
each other
effects,
as
right?
people and as parenting partners
Yeah.
without actually being together as a married couple in one house.
I had to do the
Meanwhile,
180
my husband and I have started to attend couples counseling.
Isn't this the guy who
We
had
tried
sex
marriage
like
counseling
3
when we were
times in one
separated before we divorced.
It is.
But I think we were
The
both
main
already
character is
pretty
still a
mentally
woman.
done, so counseling didn't do much for us then.
Rester,
I
look
think
at
we're
me.
getting way more out
Look.
of it now because we're actually invested
Click
in
on
it and putting in a lot of effort.
There we go.
Indiana
Sometimes I
Jones.
feel
I'm
great
literally
after a
Indiana
session.
Jones.
And at other times I feel not so great and am reminded of reasons why we
You
divorced.
get up there.
Overall, I think it's a
You
good
look
thing for us
here,
no matter
right?
what happens with our relationship.
Going on the one that
Hold
We've
up.
been sleeping together for the last few months. We already agreed that we won't be seeing other people at this time. I wouldn't be saying
Why
this
is
while
there
pregnant
musty
anyway,
chocolate
and it's
water
not
over
as
here,
if I'll
Shadow?
even have time with 3 kids and a newborn.
it's just
We
that.
agreed that we will not
My
open
mom
ourselves
came
to
home
being
and
with
she's
other
pissed
people
off
while
for
we are
some
working on our
reason. Hold on, I'll
relationship
be
and
right
before
back.
that conversation is had
I'm gonna
between
eat
us.
you.
We are carrying on just as we have been since our divorce, as far as our kids are concerned.
Can we please go on to
Dad
another
doesn't spend the
story?
night at our house. We do things together as a family sometimes, but we were doing that even before anything was rekindled between us. We're not acting as a couple when we're together as a family. We're friendly with each other, but there is no holding hands, kissing, etc. Our main concern
I'm
is
gonna
our
grab a
kids.
root beer from the mini
We
fridge
refuse
right
to
next
say
to
we're
me.
back together.
Okay, you
If we officially get back together, we really want to feel certain
Yeah, and I've
that it'll
got
be for the
Reese's
long term,
cups.
that we're ready to commit to that. We don't want to give our kids whiplash or do anything to make them insecure
Are you
about
going?
our family.
what age
would like to
is
get
like
to
a
that
good
point,
age to
but
stop
we
going
aren't there
trick
yet.
or treating?
I think if my husband had his way, we'd be there. He's ready to say he's there
So
now,
are you not
He'd love
not
to move
trick or
back
treating
home.
anymore? Or is that next
but
year?
he
you're gonna stop
understands and agrees
trick-or-treating?
with my reasoning.
Well, I'm 15.
I'd love for him to move back home too. Based
I mean, I
only
know
on
that,
emotions.
but
We
like,
both have things to work on, separately and together.
This year.
I want to be a better spouse this time around. I thought I was
Get
being a
cooked.
really great wife and I was on the surface. I also know that right now I feel so in love and am hopped on hormones and pregnancy happiness.
What?
I always feel super happy, super positive, and super horny during pregnancy.
What?
I have to be careful with trusting anything I feel during this time because it's like I'm on a 24/7
as
natural
previously
high.
stated, can we
I
please
think
go
the
on to
biggest
another
issue
story?
right now is that he's far more, let's throw caution to the wind,
We need a
even though he
All
agrees
right,
with
well,
my
I'm done with this
reasoning.
story.
And
I'm not dealing with this anymore. You're gonna get demonetized.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna get demonetized.
If you were gonna get copyright striked for using the Reddit stories, now you're gonna get demonetized too. It's not like you were getting monetization in the first place, though.
Get paid to watch them. It's called Pi, and
But
once I
that
started
was
using it,
just-
I was shocked at how much of my content was.
My husband's sister died from falling down the stairs 6 months ago.
I know I should not be laughing at that, but that is so funny.
Has suddenly and baselessly accused me of killing her.
Wait, go back.
This is long and ridiculous.
Go back. I
Sorry,
didn't hear that.
my husband's sister died from falling down the stairs 6 months ago. Now my husband has suddenly and baselessly accused me of killing her. This is long and ridiculous. Sorry.
How's this
My
MID
30 husband,
asshole?
Luke,
Sure.
33, had a sister, Laura, 29.
Am I the asshole for killing my for killing my brother's wife?
Are all the stories just am I the asshole? Like I don't want to am I the asshole?
This isn't
My
even an
husband's
MID.
sister died from falling down the stairs 6 months ago. Now my husband has suddenly and baselessly accused me of killing her.
Kind of.
This
am
is an-
I-
This is
MID.
long and ridiculous. Sorry. My 30 husband, Luke, 33, had a sister, Laura, 29. We were all close and saw each other 2-3 times a
No, we
month,
have to wait for
along
Erie.
with their parents.
Erie's in
Almost 6 months ago, Laura fell down the stairs at their family
What?
home and died. It was a freak accident.
forever.
There's a window on the half.
Huh?
Erie's gonna take forever to talk to his angry mom.
Okay, fine, but when he comes back, we'll teleport him to us.
Landing and she hit her head on the sill. I was the
I need to
last
turn
person
you
to
up
see
really
her.
quick.
I was there for less than 10 minutes and she was in her pajamas making coffee. I didn't even stay for a drink, and I struggle with how such a brief and meaningless interaction could have been her last. She deserved so much more. My husband
Wait
and
for
I have
me.
only been married for a year, but we've been together for 4 and have known each other for 20 plus. When Laura's parents found her, they called my husband straight away and we rushed over. We faced the whole thing as a family. In the days after, Luke started quizzing me. Exactly what we talked about. what she was wearing, where we were standing, etc. It progressed to saying I was providing conflicting information on tiny details he was deliberately misunderstanding, and accusing me of withholding information because I couldn't tell him things like what pajamas she was wearing. This escalated quickly but lasted for less than a week, as I lost my cool and made it clear that I was done answering questions. He didn't bring it up again, and I wrote it off as a grief quirk. His behavior was generally that of a normal, grieving person. Last Friday, he outright accused me of murdering her, in front of his parents. Out of the blue. We were all stunned. There was an inquest which recently concluded, and there was never any doubt the verdict would be accidental death. He said it was completely obvious and he couldn't believe that no one else could see it. He claims I went through his phone and found his messages with Laura. I have absolutely no idea what messages he's talking about. I have never looked at his phone, and that I went
Okay, I have a question. Is he hooking up with his sister?
And I pushed her downstairs. By the end, he was shouting about going to the police and getting the inquest overturned, and how I wasn't going to get away with it. Let me be clear, Laura and I had a great relationship. We all did. I have no idea where this has come from, other than these messages I haven't seen, and even then, I don't think there's anything I could ever see on someone's phone that would drive me to murder. It's just ridiculous. He's been with his parents since this happened and will not talk to me at all. I've had some contact with his mom, but she's not being very communicative. The last I heard, she didn't know what messages he was referring to either. I am still completely stunned and I have no idea how to proceed. I made a commitment.
Was he talking bad things about his wife to his sister?
I understand that grief can manifest in strange ways, but part of me feels like my love for him died the second he called me a murderer, and I don't know how we could possibly work through this. I also really don't want to be thought of in this way, and I have no idea if he has said anything to people we know. I obviously haven't. A brain tumor or psychotic break has crossed my mind, and I suggested it to his mother, and she just said she'll talk to him. Other than the questions before, he hasn't been acting odd. Obviously he's been grieving, but he seems sane and sensible other than this. I feel like I'm going mad. Does anyone have any advice at all? TL Doctor, my husband's sister died in a horrible accident, and my husband, for absolutely no reason other than some mystery messages, thinks I murdered her? Edit. It has come to my attention that I accidentally used Laura's real name once in this post. Can I kindly ask anyone who commented who is real name? Delete their comment, as I really don't want this to bleed into my real life. For obvious reasons. Relevant comments. Moral_tack. Fuck no. You don't salvage this. You get a lawyer and get the fuck out. Best case scenario, he has just admitted to sending messages with his sister that he thinks would make you angry enough to kill her over them. I have some ideas about what those might be, and they're all bad. How did the parents react when he did this? OP, when he first laid out the accusation, at his parents' house, both his mother and I just kept asking him about the messages, and all he would say was that I know exactly what messages he was talking about. She was as stunned as me, and his father just said he didn't understand what he was talking about. He's a man of few words, but there was plenty of head shaking.
Oh, yes.
The whole thing was surreal. No one knew how to react.
I get them lava walkers.
I honestly don't know what kind of lawyer I would even speak to about this. From what I'm aware, the coroner's decision can't be appealed, and the police can't launch an investigation into
I love using the lava walkers.
I don't think I'm quite ready.
We
for
still
the
have the lava walkers. Oh, we
since
don't
his
have the
accusation,
lava walkers.
and I walked out about 5 minutes after he threw it out, and I have no idea what his frame of mind is.
Your shadow forced me to go ahead without you, so I'll teleport you.
You need to get a lawyer to protect yourself in case he does go.
No, go ahead without me.
I would write down everything that you can remember that happened that day.
For some reason, came home really mad.
He may be having a psychotic break.
As
stated, don't talk to him or his immediate family or your friends without someone present, preferably by text or email.
Yeah,
Save
so
everything.
I'll be a while. Go ahead
his
without me, and when I hop back on, just TP me.
OP, I was interviewed
yeah,
by the
these Reddit
coroner's
stories
office
are
after her
really
death,
weird.
as I was the last person to see her. She died about 3 hours after I saw her, and I'd been to the supermarket and was home by that point. It's all verifiable and was a recorded interview. I haven't spoken to anyone but his mother, and that's only been over messages. She's never bbeen a big texter, but she has seemed very cagey over the past few days. I don't know if this means she's seen the messages. I've asked and been ignored. Grolsch is good. I think they mean to record everything you remember about the day your soon-to-be ex accused you of murder. OP, I'm feeling so freaked out at the idea that he came up with this almost immediately after her death, and has either been sitting on it or planning his confrontation, that I'm basically trying to dissect the past 6 months. Maybe it's time I start writing things down. Right until it happened, things felt very normal. Obviously her death has been felt deeply by all of us, and things aren't anything like they were, but there have been no signs of anything like this, even on the day.
I'm so good at the game.
OP on getting the messages. I'm absolutely desperate to see these messages, because I'm right there with you on the sheer wackiness of what they have to contain. It hadn't occurred to me that they might not exist. I've never known him to lie, but I do think a mental health issue is a real possibility. His relationship with his sister didn't seem odd, and I've never been interested in his phone, but he's never been defensive about it either, so I think you might be right. If I had such incriminating messages, I'd probably worry about them before now. When told to find an old iPad to use
Wait, no, I have to
access
go back
them,
to
I
the
have his
beginning
iCloud password.
and then go again.
It has a backup from yesterday. I have no idea how to turn this into something I can actually use. It doesn't have a messages folder or any signs of how to use it for anything other than restoring a whole phone, which I don't want to do. Does anyone know how to actually get the messages from this? Sorry to throw a tech support request in. I can't believe I didn't.
Okay.
Huge thanks to the person who suggested it. I'm in a bizarre and complex situation with my husband. I have broken the law, and I feel I have no choice but to do so again for my safety. I don't know what type of solicitor I need or what the next steps should look like. We're in England, and I'll try not to editorialize too much. My husband's sister died suddenly at the start of the year. Her death was an accident and there was no suggestion to the contrary. The inquest was recently concluded and a verdict of accidental death returned. I was the last person to see her, but her time of death, which was almost immediate due to her injury, was confirmed.
I'm gonna just go back up to where we were.
All of this was verified at the time. In the immediate aftermath, my husband behaved strangely and kept trying to trip up my story of the last time we saw each other, which was a brief interaction. Last week, months after this was first and last mentioned, he outright accused me of murder, in front of his parents. He says I saw his messages with his sister and confronted her, and that he's going to have the coroner's decision overturned and have the police investigate. I haven't seen or heard from him since. Today is day 9. I posted for advice on Reddit. I'm pretty desperate at this point, and it has spooked me. Quite reasonably, I think, but also led to me committing a crime and planning another. My husband's iCloud credentials were saved on an old iPad in his office, and I downloaded his backup last night. I have read all of his messages with his sister, and there is absolutely nothing like he describes. I understand this is illegal and I'm concerned about the possible ramifications. I am also waiting for a callback from a locksmith to change the locks on the home we own together, which I believe is also against the law. So this leads to my actual questions. I feel justified in what I've done for my safety, but is there a degree of pragmatism under the law for these issues because of the situation? Or am I shooting myself in the foot?
Wait 1 second.
I am resigned to the fact my relationship is over, but his parents
Okay, I had to
this
take a swig of my
seriously
root
and they're
beer.
icing me out. I believe this is a serious mental health issue which
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
namely me, at risk.
Oh god.
Can I do anything about this when all I have is the fact I'm being accused of murder? I feel he
Oh,
needs
bro,
to
I
be
beat
determined and
I
this
beat
should be
Parkour
investigated
Paradise
as a
in like
full-blown
40
psychotic
minutes.
break. Sorry, this is all.
Oh, that burns
In
too.
addition, what type of solicitor do I need? My understanding is that a coroner decision can't be appealed. Is that correct?
I did slash
Are his
A.
accusations
Or
going
did
to
I
go
not?
anywhere? Can I protect myself
Oh.
from telling others? We live in our hometown and everyone knows everyone. This could follow me forever and it's either a lie or a delusion. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Relevant comments when told OP can't lock out her husband or force him to get a psych eval OP. Thank you so much for your response. Locking each other out doesn't sound like a pattern I want to get into, but I think I'll go ahead and change them once on the basis that it isn't you did this so you have to leave the house, and also you'll be prosecuted. Levels of seriousness. In terms of him being deemed to lack capacity, is there any way I can trigger the process that you know of? Is something like this sufficient for the Mental Health Act to kick in? I've been Googling and you can be detained if professionals think your mental health puts you or others at risk, and you need to be in hospital. Seems very vague. Obviously I'm biased, but accusing someone of murder and screaming about how they aren't going to get away with it feels like risky behavior. Does he need to have made explicit threats or is there a clearer bar to meet? Sorry for asking so many questions. No firefighter, 9257. You are jumping ahead of yourself and playing out situations that have not occurred. If your husband reports you to the police for accessing his data and you are subsequently arrested or taken in for questioning, then obtain the services of a criminal solicitor for advice. With respect of changing locks, ending your marriage, seek a solicitor that deals with family law divorce. If you feel that you're at risk from your husband, talk to a domestic abuse helpline. If you feel you're at an immediate risk of harm, then call the police. If you think your husband is mentally ill and presents a risk to himself or others, call the police OP. I don't think that's a fair
That was so close.
Being accused of arguably the most serious crime to exist has most definitely occurred. My
Now go back
understanding
down.
of the law is that something is illegal whether you're reported to the police or not. Those messages are evidence, as far as I'm concerned, that his accusations are false. They were apparently the trigger to me literally murdering someone I was extremely close to. I have illegally accessed them, and I don't think it's unreasonable to inquire as to the potential impact of it. I am fully aware that I need a solicitor, but as you're probably aware, today is Sunday. I don't know if I need to seek someone out based on a divorce, which honestly, if this is a mental health issue, is not going to be something I go for, or a criminal solicitor,
No!
who deals with the Mental Health Act, as my absolute priority preference is getting him assessed. My only exposure to the legal system in my entire life was through the inquest, and that is obviously completely different from any of this. I'm not educated in this area. Commenter. It's sad and slightly suspicious that OP is jumping ahead to mental health assessments to defend themselves from accusations of murder when their husband is clearly going through some serious issues coping with the death of his sister. OP, what else can I do? He has blocked me everywhere, and we went from a normal couple dealing with the new normal 6 months after the death of his sister, to me being accused of murder over a family dinner because of messages which clearly don't exist, and it's been 9 days and I've heard nothing since. Can I remind you that the inquest was held and concluded? I dropped off some Tupperware, grabbed an umbrella I'd left behind the previous week, went to a big test.
Oh no, how do you get up there?
I was already home
by
the time she died, and my whereabouts were extremely easy to verify because my husband was home all day. It's obvious that he's going through some serious issues coping with the death of his sister. That is the exact point of all of this. Update 2. Firstly,
what killed me?
Thank you to those who helped me get to my husband's iCloud backups through an old iPad. I wasn't expecting much
I did,
from Reddit,
it's just,
but I got valuable practical
got
advice
killed
before
anyway.
my
One
post
second, I
was
need to
live,
go back,
and I
so-
appreciate it.
One second, let me give
There were
myself
no
the effects
crazy
first.
or even suspicious messages. I've searched for over 100 terms and scrolled back over the years. I saw a side of them both I wasn't expecting, but nothing that explains the claim I murdered Laura over their chats. Nothing to suggest he was cheating. Absolutely nothing to suggest incest. I repeat, incest. No weird gaps
that's
where
what I
deleted
was-
conversations or a switch to another app would fit. Just siblings making
that's what my
plans,
assumption was.
sending memes, and gossiping. They said unexpectedly horrible stuff about a few people, but not me. It was a sort of relief, but it raised more questions than it answered. I sought legal advice, also from Reddit, after posting here.
Hop this,
Turns out my
hop here,
options
hop
are
here.
divorce him or sit down.
Hey, I want to do
I
it
contacted my
legitimately.
community mental health team, who said they'd reach out, but made it clear it wasn't urgent.
Okay, I might want your help.
Said that if I didn't hear from him by this weekend, I would
Can
get
you-
a
can you
solicitor
make
and
me a
ask
little
for a
path?
mental health
Thank
assessment
you.
as part of the divorce. In
Alright,
response,
let me go
he made
pull
a
up
ridiculous
some
post to
of my own
Facebook,
lava
which neither
walkers.
of us have used in years, and everything blew up. I'm going to try to keep this succinct. On Friday night, he made a long accusation on Facebook, with new information. He said he'd been planning to leave me for months with his sister's support, and I found the messages, and murdered her. The coroner has reopened the case, and the police are preparing to arrest me, and he needs to make sure people know before the trial stops him talking about it. It was well written and seemed vaguely plausible. He messaged people with links so it got some attention. We live in our hometown, and have a large circle of friends because we've been here all our lives. People I haven't spoken to since school were reaching out to me asking WTF was going on. It was madness. In response, I posted the export of his entire conversation history with Laura, also to Facebook, when I finally got back in. I linked to the chat along with a post explaining my side, and noting that I had changed my ex's iCloud and Apple passwords, and that if he wanted them back, he should comment on my post and update his own, admitting that he was lying. He eventually did. When I started getting messages about his post, I panicked, and changing his password seemed important to preserve everything because he'd know I had access. When I spoke to him the next morning, it's clear he's not having a mental episode at all, but is claiming one because he's been caught in a big lie. As soon as he was outed, he called me, clearly drunk, begging and promising to explain everything if I deleted my post. I hung up and told him to call back the next day. He did, after many missed calls and texts.
Okay,
and
one
he tried
second, I need to
bargain
go
and
back.
guilt-trip me with his
I'm
mental
so
health until it was
confused right now.
clear
Give
the
me 2
wrong
seconds.
people had seen his conversation. It's hard to
Okay,
describe.
so this
but
is
it
where
seemed
we
fake.
just were.
It was too well rehearsed, and then this morning, when it was clear he was getting nowhere, he blocked me. Begging for mercy and reciting facts about mental disorders doesn't align with someone in crisis with a sincere belief that someone murdered their sibling. The question of why he did all this remains unanswered, and he will not be getting his passwords until it is. The legal advice subreddit said this stuff is technically illegal, but it's beneath a court to take action. So I'm going to count on that because I felt like I had no other choice at the time, and now I don't see any other way to get answers from him. I am desperate and it's all I've got. So there we are. The relationship I have believed was my destiny since I was a teenager has boiled.
Oh, I'm dead.
Convoluted and vindictive bullshit, played out on social media, for reasons still unknown. My hope for a brain tumor is fading, and clearly tomorrow morning is going to be when I lawyer up and stop posting about this. I am mortified. I have no idea whether some people might believe him, and I still don't know why this all happened.
Shadow, just go back to the beginning and use the minecart I gave you.
And thanks once again to everyone who offered advice. Weird guy shows up at my
Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. There's something like wrong with the things
Help
here.
me figure out this
and it doesn't work, so.
Posted this on the Creepy Encounter sub, and someone suggested I post here. This happened 3 nights ago, and I'm going crazy trying to figure it out.
Where are you supposed to go after the minecart takes you off there?
I just moved into a new apartment 1 month ago, and I'm still unpacking and settling in. I have been using my parents' address as my mailing address, who live a few towns over, 20 minutes away, all of my life. 3 nights ago, my parents called me at 2 a.m. and freaked out and proceeded to tell me this story. Apparently at 1 a.m. someone starts banging on their front door and repeatedly ringing their doorbell. My stepdad walks downstairs and opens the door, leaving the front glass door closed and locked. There was a man standing outside, who looked to be in his 30s, with a black hoodie on with the hood pulled up around his face. He didn't have any distinguishing facial features, facial hair or tattoos. The only thing my stepdad said was that he looked to be Hispanic. Neither my stepdad or my mother, who was watching the whole thing out a window, recognized the man. The man says, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for my full name." My stepdad plays dumb and says, "Who?" The man proceeds to state my full name again and says that my boyfriend is worried because I didn't come home that night. He claims to be a friend of my boyfriend and tells my stepdad that they are both out looking for me, worried because I didn't show up at home. I don't have a boyfriend. I live by myself with my 3 dogs and haven't been in a relationship in the past 5-6 months. Here's the weird part. My stepdad asked the guy what boyfriend he was talking about, and the man told him the name of the boyfriend I had when I was in 10th grade, nearly 20 years ago. My boyfriend in 10th grade has a very, very unique Italian name. I've never met anyone with a full name even close to his. He says my high school boyfriend's name a few more times to ensure my stepdad heard him, and repeats that they are very worried about me. Is my stepdad sure I'm not inside? At this point, my stepdad is weirded out and closes and locks the door in his face.
I think we're supposed to go here.
He lingers in front of my parents'
genuinely
house
have no
for the next
clue.
10 minutes, smoking cigarettes and talking on the phone. Finally, my parents called the cops. About 5 minutes before the cops arrive, the man walks down to the dead end on their block and drives away in a silver car. Stepdad was unable to get the license plate. My parents file a police report and nothing else happens. After I hear this story, I am going
nuts. It's an Elytra, so I think we're supposed to go
How
here.
would someone know who I dated nearly 20 years ago, and what would the motive be of making up a story that included that weird detail about my past? I have not had contact with a 10th grade boyfriend in over a decade. Yesterday, I decided to message him on Facebook to see if he has any insight. I tell him the whole story. He's just as confused as I am and claims to have no part in it. I am at a loss. I'm also really freaked out that some strange man is going through that much trouble at 1 a.m. to look for me. Any insights or ideas would be greatly appreciated. No, nothing else weird has happened since then. Update 1. Wow, this really blew up.
Shadow,
Thank you so much for all the kind words and precautions that I should take.
What are we supposed to do here?
I think you went to it wrong. This is just the end. Yeah, I made it to the end.
I'm near the end. That one part was really confusing. I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I made it to the heart of the volcano, and I need to fly all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, hi. Well, that's cool, but the ending's weird. Oh, hey, what's this? Oh.
10. Why did it say 10?
9, 8, 7, 6,
I'm not gonna
5. Is it just restart it? Advancement made in danger.
Danger. What?
Is this where we're supposed to start from? No, because we were on the, like... What the? Where are we?
Quick, start the story again.
I want to add something here that a few people commented on
The lava's
that
rising.
might shine some light on this mystery.
Go, 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 go!
I am not in any legal trouble and have no reason to think someone would be suing me. God, I mean, I guess it's always in the realm of possibility that I'm being sued by someone, but I really don't think that's it. Like I previously commented, I had an expired registration ticket that I did not show up to court for, but I believe I got a letter in the mail just asking me to pay a really large fee, so I don't think that's related. I did take a personal loan out. Took it out about a year and a half ago. It wasn't anything too crazy and I was really good with making payments on time until about 6 months ago. I had a medical issue. Currently, I am really behind on payments, but to my knowledge, I have not defaulted on the loan yet. What do you guys think? Related? I had absolutely no idea that this is a thing or I would have included this detail at the beginning. Let me know your thoughts. Update 2. A list of a few things that I'm going to look into tomorrow, based on my own thoughts and based on a ton of valuable feedback I got in here. Thank you. We'll post an update. Update 3.
Keep going,
I'm
keep
so
going.
sorry it's taken me so long to update. It's a super busy time at work. Unfortunately, there isn't much to report. I called the loan company. They claim to have nothing to do with it. All of my friends and family also noted that the 1 a.m. factor kind of rules that out anyway. Nothing else strange has happened to my parents. I went there for the first time last night and kept a close eye out.
No!
Didn't
We
see
lost!
anything out of the norm. So this remains a mystery. I'll be sure to update if something else happens.
Meant to do.
Final update. All right.
I don't know.
1 year
That is
later,
a
I
good
finally have
question.
an update to this insane mystery. I will include the original story here first,
Is it-
followed by the update. After this happened, my family and a couple of my close friends have been talking about this.
Alright, we're
mystery
gonna do this
to
without
try
the
and put
extra
our heads
effects, because
together to
if
figure it
we
out.
die, we just get put back
We all
down
have
here
our
anyway.
own theories, but ultimately no definitive answer as to what happened or who this creeper was. So we pretty much put it to rest and only continued to joke about it once in a while. Here's the update. My stepsister, my stepdad's daughter,
Okay.
and her fiance were at a house party right after the holidays, around early January of this year. While they were there, they started talking.
How
to
did
a
we
girl
not
that
notice the
neither
lava
of them
rising
did.
before?
After some time talking
Oh,
together,
no.
the girl started talking about her ex-boyfriend and how they were going through a really tough time together. They had just
We have
recently
more
broken
leeway
up
this
and she
time,
felt
though,
really
'cause we
bad
know what we're
because he
doing.
was a wreck over it. Somehow, it came up that
Ah,
this
you
girl's
went on mine.
ex-boyfriend was my 10th grade boyfriend. The
Why are you holding down
Italian.
crouch?
The whole situation wasn't that big of a coincidence. Since
Oh,
I
it
went to
looks
high
like you
school with
are.
my stepsister's fiance and we have a lot of mutual friends. So it makes sense that they were at a party that would include some people I went to high school with. As soon as my stepsister and her fiance hear this, they both start freaking out and without revealing too many details, they tell the girl about the whole mystery and how weird it was. As they are telling the story, the girl's face starts to go white and she looks like she's about to cry. My stepsister and fiance try to console her and ask her what's wrong. The wine beer had been flowing at this point, so I'm sure everyone was a little tipsy. The girl starts to tell them that a few nights ago, she was sleeping, and someone started banging on her door at, get this, fucking 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
Just like what happened to me at my parents'. The girl jumps out of bed and says she was absolutely terrified by how loud and aggressive someone was banging on her door. She said she literally thought it was going to break in. The girl has a Ring camera, so looks at her phone. There on the camera is a guy in a black hoodie, banging on her door. She obviously pretends like she isn't home and keeps all of the lights off. He continues banging. As
The
she is
doors
getting ready to
don't
dial
open.
911,
The
the guy
doors
stops
don't
and
open,
leaves.
they're meant to open.
She said she was absolutely terrified. For whatever reason, she didn't end up calling the cops,
Esther.
but may have gone to stay with a friend that night or the night after. My stepsister and fiance are shocked by the details and how similar it is to my story, especially because of the mutual ex-boyfriend we share. Except this girl literally just broke things off with him. They asked the girl if she has any idea who the guy is and she said no, but that it definitely is not the actual ex-boyfriend. She said this guy was much taller and heavier than our shared mutual ex. How fucking weird. This mystery is still unsolved and these new details honestly just make my head spin even more. No one else has shown up to my parents' door since the actual incident a year ago. OP added extra info in the comments. So a few answers to some questions. My 10th grade boyfriend was into drugs when I dated him back in high school. No idea if he continued to use throughout his life or not, but can confirm he is definitely an addict who may or may not be in recovery currently. My 10th grade boyfriend has been to my parents' house multiple times. My parents still live in the same house I grew up in, and my 10th grade boyfriend has been over many times while we dated in high school. I don't know where he currently lives, but he grew up about 10 minutes away from my parents' house. My 10th grade boyfriend and I had a horrific breakup. I met my high school sweetheart while I was dating him and broke up with him in a pretty messed up way. He held a grudge over it all throughout high school and was extremely nasty to me to the point of bullying. At one point, I had to get a security guard to escort me to classes because him and his friends were bullying me so badly. The bullying was only severe for the rest of 10th grade, but he definitely hated me all throughout high school. At one point he did end up apologizing to me, and explained that he was just heartbroken over me breaking up with him, but at that point, I was way past the point of forgiving him. After graduating high school, we ran into each other maybe once or twice while I was home from college and he was totally cordial and nice with me and we laughed the high school experiences off.
Shadow, are you still alive?
Try reaching out to him on Facebook again and bringing back up this whole mystery with the added updates from his recent ex-girlfriend to see what his reaction is and gauge whether or not he's being truthful in it. I can also ask some mutual high school friends who know him about how he currently is, if he's into any shady shit or not. My stepsister only gave me a first name and description of a recent ex-girlfriend from the party.
It doesn't work, you have to
but
break
I can go on my 10th grade boyfriend's Facebook and look for her under his friends. Then reach out to her Facebook Messenger to inquire about ring footage and ask her more questions. Also see if she ever reached out to cops.
No.
I agree this is probably the best
Okay,
thing
we gotta
to
figure out what to
want
do
more
there.
answers.
Also, I'm gonna throw the
But
pickaxe
I
into the
need to
void.
be careful as I still don't know what is going on.
We got this, we got this.
My 10th grade boyfriend does not have a brother, just one younger sister that I remember back from high school.
We got this, Shadow, we got this.
Relevant comments from OP Comment 1. I just posted some answers in the comments about the nature of my breakup with my high school boyfriend and how horrific it was and how he basically harassed me for the rest of the 10th grade.
Why am I floating?
Your last theory, and what a lot of other people are commenting,
I'm also floating,
is starting to make the most sense to me. It could be that my 10th grade boyfriend has a tendency to get insanely hung up on girls and is sending a close friend or relative to do these 1 a.m. drop-bys. And this would especially make sense if he is still using drugs like he did in high school. This theory being correct would mean he lied to me when I reached out to him on Facebook a year ago, which of course he would. If this is the case, it seems like he moved on to his current ex. I just hope he doesn't swing back around to me. Comment 2. I decided I'm going to try and find out the girl's full name so I can look her up on social media. I may even be able to find her with just the first name that I already know from my steps. I can go onto my 10th grade boyfriend's Facebook and look in his friend list for a girl with the same first name who looks like she could have been his ex-girlfriend. He may even have pictures with her tagged, so it shouldn't be that hard, unless he wiped his social media clean of her after they broke up. When I'm able to find her, I'm going to reach out to her
TNT
and try
minecart
and
part
get
is
some
the hardest
answers.
part.
I think this is the safest route since I still don't know my 10th grade boyfriend's role in this, and I did already ask him once and he claimed to have no part in it or know anything, which may or may not have been a lie. Based on how scared my stepson said this girl was, I'm betting she'll be willing to talk to me about it since we share the experience.
Now we just gotta figure out where to
I
go
will
at
make
that
an
one
updated
part.
post when I have more info. Thanks everyone. My wife has ADHD, neglects our kids, and humiliated me on Father's Day. After much consideration, I've decided to pursue a divorce. I, 43 years old, try to do my best to provide for my wife, 38 years old, and our 2 kids, ages 3 and 5,
That's
as
a
well
good
as my
question.
mother-in-law. I like to think that I am doing a decent job.
Wait, something.
Over the years, I have worked to improve our family's living situation. Not only did I complete another bachelor's degree and recently a master's in a STEM-related field, but I also worked 2 full-time jobs while finishing my second bachelor's degree and supported my wife through her schooling as well. She completed a degree that allows her to make good money,
Shadow, we're gonna go look
$60,000/year, in a healthcare
Escape the
field that
volcano.
always has jobs available. However, with the birth of our 2 children, she has since given up on her career to be a stay-at-home mom for the time being. At first, it was a struggle while I was finishing up my master's degree. Once I completed it, after our youngest turned 3, my career took a jump, and we are now able to afford our single-income household
What do
in
we
a more
do?
feasible manner. We're far from rich, but do okay for a single-income family of 4. A little
Did
over
somebody say
$150K
pedophile?
base plus bonuses.
What do we do?
This past year, life
Wait.
has been overwhelming for my wife. So even though I now work
Here,
75%
hold
from
up.
home, I budgeted to hire a daytime nanny to help me
Alright,
around the house with one
Shadow,
child,
I
and the
have a
other is
route
now
that
in
we
school.
could do. I just have to
Every
make
day,
slight
my day
adjustments to the
starts
map.
around
Alright,
5:30
Alright,
to
Shadow,
6 a.m.
like what if I made it so we
I
can get
prepare
up
the house
here,
for the day before
and then
the
we
nanny
can
arrives
hop on
at
these
8 a.m.
Teleport me.
trees over
I get
into
our oldest
here.
child up and ready for school, make breakfast, plan out my
Yeah, I
day,
think that would
drop our
work.
oldest off at
Just
school,
make it like
and
that.
return home. in
Alright,
time to let the
yeah.
nanny
Let me go into creative really
My
quick.
current task at work has me grounded for the next 2 months, meaning I am now 100%
Yeah,
working from
we
home.
beat the first.
While this is nice, I am busy in meetings all day as my role involves managing teams on a global scale and overseeing industry projects. For the past month and a half, I have noticed that despite my wife claiming her life at home is stressful, her day
What?
starts at 10 a.m. After a week of working from home, I asked my
What do you
mother-in-law
mean, don't
and
tell
the nanny
Erie?
if this was always the case.
Don't worry about
and
it.
they both responded that it varies. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later.
Okay, yeah, it's
My wife
possible. No
literally
shadow.
wakes up,
I made it
cooks,
easy.
and then spends
Okay,
time
invite
scrolling
me,
through her
or
phone or
teleport
shopping
me.
online,
Go back down.
which
Yeah, I
is
need
key
it.
to my concern. I am glad I can provide her with this lifestyle since we both grew up with limited means. I understand the possibility of postpartum depression, the stress of having kids,
Yeah.
the feeling of being unfulfilled, and the fact that I may not be the best
What, the
husband.
green FN?
But for what it's worth, everything is taken
I mean,
care of.
normal
and then
mode
some.
works too.
I manage the household finances
Yeah, just don't
since
do
she
it.
claimed she was too busy
Can I
to
get
do
my
so.
effects?
Pay
Because
all the
for some
household
reason they
bills,
just
cover
disappeared.
my personal bills,
Oh, you won't
pay
need
her bills, track and
Yeah, we don't
perform
need
the
them right
upkeep of
now.
our house,
Wait, no, get out of there.
cars,
Turn this back.
pets, etc. And I
All right,
also
let's
help
go.
pay for my
Wait.
mother-in-law's
Yeah.
medical bills and car note. Despite this,
All right, everyone, get
my
inside.
life is apparently much
Wait,
easier
what is this?
compared to hers.
Are you ready?
Don't worry
I
about it.
can't decompress with her
You ready,
because she
kids?
always feels
This
the need
is
to one-up
level
me.
we think.
If I have a bad day, she insists hers was worse because I'm lucky to go away and work. If my feet hurt from walking all day during work travel, she says it's nothing compared
Escape
to
the
her standing and
volcano.
cooking with a child clinging to her.
Come on,
Of course
For the
I'm getting
past 2
Discord
years,
called
I've
at
been
this
told
very
I ruined
moment.
her life and her opportunities.
Go,
But when
Forget
I
the
remind her
Discord
of
call,
what
go.
she says, she denies and
This
dodges
Discord
accountability.
music is all I
My
hear.
mother-in-law has noticed a change in both me and my wife,
go, let's
pointing
go.
out that I have a greater attachment to my kids and that I've even hugged the dogs and talked to them
Guys,
more
no
about
man
my
left
life
behind,
than to my
right?
wife. I honestly feel
Go,
like I'm
get
in
on,
emotional
get on.
survival mode. I am one step away from moving up the career ladder and one step away from finding love and comfort at the bottom of a whiskey bottle. I am sure I'll be
Reddit
hearing
square-
from the
no,
manly men
I
at
fell!
Reddit about
Come
how
on
I'm
without
simping.
me!
But I am not a machine.
Okay.
I just want to know and feel that someone I prioritize
No!
for my kids
Go on without me,
appreciates and loves
Shadow.
me for what I do. I am sure I will hear from the
Hello,
stay-at-home
Erie
moms of Reddit,
Ecozilla.
which is fine.
Hello.
I grew up in a single
I
parent
can't
slash
Bro, I was
mother
getting
household.
called by my zesty
It is
ass
not
fem
easy.
boyfriend, bro.
And honestly, with the help of her mother and a nanny Monday to Friday,
Wait,
for one toddler while another child is at school, can you honestly tell me she is having the typical stay-at-home mom experience? Because neither my friends nor colleagues who are single parents
Where
can say she
is
is.
Shadow?
I am sure the masses of holier-than-thou Redditors
Oh,
will
there's
consider this a
Shadowflare.
poorly written fanfic.
Yeah, there's
but it
one
is what
part
it
that's
is.
particularly
To
hard.
summarize, TLDR,
Same.
it feels as if my wife has checked out of our marriage. We are
Why do
only
you guys
roommates
have
where she can
those?
still reap the benefits of marriage. I am not asking for her to throw herself at me all the time and let me do whatever I want. I really
the
just
green
want to be
FN?
told I am doing good and to
That's a
receive some form of
slur.
emotional comfort as simple as a hug.
I said green
But I guess
FN,
as the
I
man
didn't
who
say
ruined her
thing.
life, I deserve it. Thank you for the
Who
report.
would ever
let's
say
go.
To
that
add more
word?
context,
What?
never cheated.
Oh no,
I
Shadow,
do
we're
work
so
in an
good.
industry that has a large female population, but I am
Rest
literally
your
an open book with work.
How are
Many
you guys
colleagues
that
and
far
staff under
behind?
me. She has access.
It's because
to my
we
work
fell,
address
but
and
we didn't fall so
correspondence
far that we
if she
died. We
wanted to
just
snoop.
kind of
But on
fell
that
to a
note,
point where we
she still
can
does not know
be a
what
bit
exactly
silly.
I do
Oh,
for
the
a
mime
living.
cart part is gonna be so hard now that we're behind.
Her parents and mine have tried to get her to go to therapy.
they go
but
off,
she
like, on a
refuses or
schedule?
skirts around the issue. Aside from my coming from a single mother household, my biological dad was present in my life.
I don't
She
like
has had
this
both
music.
parents in a reportedly monogamous marriage for over 40 years.
Then just
I have
just
tried to talk
focus
to her
up
about
on the
No,
Reddit.
the music
thread.
is scary.
But again,
No, what? No,
one-upmanship tends to
no!
be the trend here.
Goodbye,
I'm
What
Erie
am I supposed to
Ecozilla.
do there?
Now,
I don't know
aside
what
from
part
my
you're
two
talking
beautiful
about.
kids, I've been asking myself that same question. We have a near non-existent sex life mainly since last year. I always figured maybe it's part of depression or whatever she may be going through. Maybe I'm just not attractive
what are
enough
you
or just
doing?
horrible in bed because of my
That was all you, bro. That was
I'm not
all
your supermodel
you.
husband,
went-
but
My friend
temptation
asked
and
me why
opportunity
no
does
call,
knock,
and
I
I
can
told
perform
him
still,
because
but
you're
I
a
never give in.
femboy.
Yeah.
Because as cliche as it sounds, I honestly
Yeah.
do love my wife and want to only be with her. I'll give
Save
credit where
yourself.
credit is due. I don't want to sound biased. When I say she wakes up
I
and
hate
cooks,
you
she
so
cooks
much,
for everyone in the
Jennifer.
house. Myself, kids, MIL,
I
and
won't
even
die
Eddie.
this time now.
Aside
Okay,
from
guys,
breakfast,
please
she
don't
cooks
fall
all meals
behind.
and snacks. I typically fast until lunchtime.
That was a
and I'm
All
I
always
hear
pleased
is
to eat a small,
Discord
simple
ping
breakfast
music.
in case they don't like what school serves that morning.
Because he
She
keeps
does load both
calling
the
the
kids in her
freaking
laundry.
group chat.
But seldomly folds and puts
Just
them
go
up.
on, do not disturb.
I typically do my own and the rest of
Wait,
my
Raster.
Wait, Raster
because
didn't
they're work
move.
clothes. She does keep track of our pantry and fridge.
Come on, Erie. It's just
But
a-
after she makes the list, I'm the one
We
who
need to
goes
go
out
on
and
without
buys
him.
everything if not delivered. She does clean
Lead the
our
way.
bathrooms and house 50% of the time. The other 50%
How do I
is
feel
done by
slower?
either MIL or myself, or sometimes Nanny if she feels like being extra helpful. Prior to Nanny, my MIL was the main help for my wife up until she had unexpected medical needs. So I opted to hire a nanny to help them both, more so when MIL is having
So that's what
treatments
I
and
was
recovery.
supposed to do. Yeah, I was
Update.
very
Not
confused.
sure if anyone would read this, but thank you for those who have reached out and chit-chatted. While I know I've kept my
Get in the
friends here
minecart.
updated, I figured I'd just update my post and keep it short. I
Raster
showed my wife
teleported
my
to us.
post the following weekend and she read Long story
weird.
argument. She left our house to stay with her sister, and I've been a single parent since.
Oh my god, we did it.
It's sad to say, aside from the good nights to our kids, it's all pretty much the same routine. Nothing much else to say other than thank you for all the kind words of encouragement. I just need to add, this post got bigger than I expected from a venting post, but I've responded
It's
to a
so
few
close.
comments. Nonetheless, thank you for the comments and DMs. And
No,
more
I
so
fell.
for the offers to let me ruin your life.
Goodbye.
It's been
Hold
the
on,
highlight
where
of
is
my
it?
day
I
this last
forget.
night as I sit
Rester,
here
where
drinking
is
with
it?
my dog while everyone else is asleep.
Rester.
It feels depressingly sad that I feel that I have to turn to random internet strangers for some sort
Where
of
did you put
validation
it?
in my rant.
Where did you
My
put it?
apologies in advance as I try to keep
Kill
this as vague as possible. I
Rester.
just wanted to update those who have been kind enough to check up via DM and comments. Apologies in advance for the lengthy post. It's a
Where
bit
did
of irony and coincidence that I made a follow-up from the update on 06 May 2024 I made on my original post during men's
When you
mental
go in,
health
it
awareness
respawns the
month,
whole
but
thing.
could
Also, I
really use
teleported you
another
guys because I was
outlet outside of my
AFK.
therapist. My apologies if this isn't the storybook ending
Save
slash
yourself.
destroying of a relationship
Why do you
I was
have
hoping
snowball?
for.
This
To save
feels
you
a little
read,
bit
my
racially.
wife
Raster,
came
the
back
stories, the
like nothing
Reddit
happened.
stories.
She made it about her.
They're
Nothing
still on.
I'm
Wait,
continuing
Cobble,
to be suffering
what the-
mentally, knowing nothing.
It's
Build
because
a
that one
Trying to
part's
keep it together.
impossible without it. I
What
hate
the hell is wrong?
Why are you?
The day after she
You're not
picked up
supposed to use it until the one part Eerie Ecozilla.
kids with her
No,
kids.
Yuri doesn't get
Naturally, I was against this, and thankfully
Wait,
so was
what?
her whole family, including said.
Oh!
What is this shit?
Not only was it not fair
I'm trying to
kids
block
let
off
them
Yuri
take
now
away
'cause he's
into
a
a
cheater.
that's not
Stop.
theirs, but
I
to put
didn't
that
do
financial
anything.
and housing
Yes,
stress
you
on her
did.
Yes, you
family
did.
since she doesn't work and her
Dude,
sister
I
and her
didn't mean
family,
to.
husband and 3 kids, stays with
Okay.
their
Yes,
dad in the
dude.
house they grew up in. After a little over a
Dude.
week of being away,
Okay.
I guess she cooled off, so she just
This
decided
isn't
that
very
it would be
kind
fine
of
if
you
she
guys.
walked in the door with her bags as if
Why
she
you-
just came back from Target. She came into my office while I was working and angrily stared
little
at me
bitch,
while I sat on a
Baxter.
conference call meeting with my team, and I couldn't
Yeah,
just
burn,
jump off as
burn.
this is a busy time of the quarter for us. I guess that didn't sit well with her because once I took off my
Such a
headset and closed my
bitch.
laptop, she started yelling at me about how much I really don't care about her and her well-being overall. At that moment, I couldn't do anything more than look at her and push her
Fucking
away.
idiot.
Mother-in-law came in after hearing my
Yes,
wife yelling
yes,
and pulled
give
her
me the
away,
pickaxe.
telling her to not
Wait.
bother me, while
Yes,
our nanny kept our
yes.
youngest away from it all
I'm
on the
outta
other side
here.
of the house. That night, after the kids were put to bed, I sat
No,
in my
what?
office by myself
Not
with
only
a drink
rest
as I have been doing for the past nights, and my wife came in.
I just boosted
talked,
you, Raster.
we argued,
Hey, I gave
we
you
cried,
a little bit
we
of help.
drank.
You tried.
One thing led to another, and we were in bed.
No, I didn't.
I wish I could say that was our making up, but the next sobering morning as we laid there, she went on about how hard it was for her the time she was gone. Literally. It was about her struggles staying at her family house in her old room with her dad and sister's family. How lucky I am to be able to stay here and do this and that.
Go,
and
Shadow.
buy this
Fuck
and
is
that,
wrong with
not
you?
just as much as they did.
I'm so sorry.
How easy
fuck
mine
is
and
wrong
everyone
with you?
else's in our family lives are compared
Yuri,
to
what's
others,
wrong
even
with
though we
you?
had similar upbringings. My mind
Should we do
and
Holy
heart
Parkour
shit.
Paradise again after this?
Well,
I've been
you
spiraling
cannot
down
stop
since then, and this
punching.
last week I made another attempt to reconcile and talk things out. But I was met with a shouting match while trying to express my current stress and anxieties with
Oh my
life
god,
and
I
work in
clicked that
general.
minecart.
Wife.
This is BS.
Well, do you know how hard this is all for me? You're supposed to help me be happy. Me.
I hope the
So
lava-
when it comes to my happiness, stress,
Oh.
needs, and overall well-being, FK me, get over it, right? Wife, we all have our own problems. You need to figure it out and get over them.
You guys
I
can
don't
just
know who
watch
the
my
woman I am
screen
at
share to
home with
see
is,
how
but
I'm
that
doing.
wasn't the woman I married and vowed to spend my life with and raise our kids together.
Oh, was I not? That's
Since
why
that
the Reddit
conversation,
stories weren't playing.
I've
That's
been
why I
noticeably
died.
distant with her. I've been sleeping in my office or on the couch or with my kids in their bed after putting either one of them to sleep. Still doesn't change her starting her day at 10 a.m. and sitting
So
on
why
her
is
phone
this part
talking to her
impossible?
mom groups between cooking meals.
'Cause it just
and
is, okay,
both
Yuri.
mother-in-law and nanny's
This
care.
doesn't work.
Nothing has changed.
There's
and
a
I doubt
command
that
block
anything
that's
will
supposed
change.
to be working, but it isn't.
Sadly, I think even if we got a divorce, nothing would change or feel different anyway, since during my wife's leaving
Wait,
the day
that
seemed
cobble's
like
gonna
any
be
other
there
day, except
permanently,
with a little
right?
more takeout than usual.
No.
My main fear
no.
though
We have
isn't
to
that I
put it
wouldn't
back
just lose
when-
my wife. I'd lose my kids
okay.
in the process. So I guess it's sad to say the grand finale to my story. Like a lot of men and some women
What's the
I've
grand
talked to
finale?
here, I'll just continue to smile and suffer in silence. First off, thank you
Bro,
for all
it's
the
not-
comments and
dude.
DMs, some context and clarification since
Build,
admitting that my
build.
post was emotionally charged since I
Dude, what do you
typed it
mean?
up after
Raptor,
another
look
argument.
below you!
Post-birth, our kid's pediatrician's office gave my wife those postpartum depression.
What do you
scans,
mean? What am I
and
supposed
during
to
the
do
time
here?
of both, she
Wasn't
scored
there
pretty
stuff
high
that
and
was
suggested
literally
to see a
rising?
therapist.
And slime
With our
blocks?
second child, she scored significantly higher, and I should say I made an effort to get her.
Yeah, I swear I saw
She
them.
refused,
I'm looking
so
back.
entered mother-in-law and nanny for support. I know what people will say / think, but this is one of the reasons I'm not 100% ready to
Come
just
on.
give up and follow our life
Raster,
to get
go.
my way. Also, I know
Raster.
silently suffering our kids' future will not add to a healthy
It's
atmosphere,
Jover,
but
bro.
neither would a
Awful
bitter
like
and hateful
that.
divorce. I know some have compared it to the ripping off a bandage, saying it'll hurt at first.
Alright, I
but
won't
pain
use
goes
this
away,
for
but I'd
evil.
rather try
I
to spare my
promise.
kids
Don't
thinking
hit
that their
me
parents
up.
ended up hating each other.
And
I'm
break
sorry.
any cobblestone you put down. And then also everyone needs some ender
Talked
pearls
to in DM since my last
for the
post.
one
A
thing.
little more insight on my personal life. Prior to my promotion, I was
Okay.
a DM managing teams and budgets.
I have
so
an
I've
idea
had
what
to
I'm gonna
plan
do
for a
with
lot
this
of
ender
what ifs.
pearl.
That being said, I made a number
You
of
have to use it at one part. There's literally one part where you
So
have to
yes,
use
I
it or else you'll
have
just
talked to
die.
a
So
lawyer.
What about
We
build
actually
across? That
know
won't
our
work,
rights and what
huh?
each of us are entitled
you
to.
do not have enough cobble to
Address
build across there.
created an
Or
envelope
Do you
until
not
I
time.
need
know?
to use it.
How?
I know what I want and am willing to offer more than what is fair for
How
our
did
kids'
that happen?
well-being, but also have a plan if we end up going to court.
Shut
It's
up, Blair.
100%
What?
on me that I'm suffering in silence, but I'm too
No.
stubborn to just give up. So while I'm venting, I don't expect anyone to
I'm
feel
gonna let
sorry
you go
for me.
ahead of me, Raster,
I
so
endure it to
you're
keep the
like
norm
not
our
in my
kids know.
face.
Ensure my MIL's treatments go uninterrupted, and of course the hope my wife would finally be open to give therapy a shot and climb together to a better place. New update. I'm done. Wife said I don't do and am not shit in front of the therapist and family.
I love
Father's Day
Reddit
dinner.
stories.
She got served.
You little bitch,
She was
Raster.
mad.
What? The one I was
Perfect,
going
and
to
I'm just
just
waiting while taking care of my
didn't
family.
put me in it.
Kids, my
Okay,
mom,
we got
and
this. We
MIL.
got this.
Oh well, I'll just ruin everyone
Just-
else's
just-
life too
oh,
in my
shoot,
family.
that's not good.
Secondly, to clear some confusion. Bachelor's
I was
degree
so
number
close
1
to
was
death.
completed
Oh my
in the early
God.
2000s.
Oh my god.
Bachelor's degree
well,
number
this
2
is
was
GG's.
earned through online courses over several
the
years,
saturation
taking
won't
2
save me.
classes per semester, all
No.
while I held down 2 full-time jobs.
Yes, I did.
The first job was at a hospital with a 36-48 schedule,
Raster?
and the second job
I
was
don't-
at a big box store, where I worked 40 hours spread out over 7 days a week.
Who used their
I was
I
gonna
worked these
die.
jobs
Bro,
to pay
I
for
did
all my
something
tuition
so
for my
cool,
wife,
bro. That
as
was
she decided to
awesome.
return to school before we had children.
I had to use my
After
pearl,
completing
otherwise I was
bachelor's
gonna die.
degree number 2 and entering the
Raster,
industry
you
where
hooked
I
me up with
currently
another
work,
pearl,
I was
bro.
able to transition
Nuh-uh.
to my master's degree. So no, I did not earn 3 degrees simultaneously.
I'll just find
or in
another
rapid
way.
succession. I'm surprised
I
that I
always
have
will.
to clarify this, as working 2 jobs while attending school.
Those are melons, not
I
sign
loyal.
That's what I
blocks.
thought. My wife chooses not to work. She does technically have a job.
Uh-oh.
She just barely works it to the point we forget she has a job. As in, she worked one day 5 months ago for 8 hours on a Tuesday, kind of barely works.
Not this.
Her job
That
and
almost
manager
worked.
is really supportive.
That almost
Flex
worked.
PRN model, and gives her a list of days they need coverage, and she can choose to
Hey,
pick up a
Raster, you
shift
should
or
have
not.
given us more
While she can work
saturation,
more
yeah?
and only does just enough to keep up her license,
the max
she complains to our family of her career being on
It's
hold
not.
for one
This is
reason
just
or
the
the other,
kind the
although
game
she has
gives
the
you.
opportunity to work more if she opted to.
Ah.
All things considered, she has
So,
a available
Raster, I
supportive
wanted you to
circle around
know
her for
I was
either
digging
decision
up
she falls on.
below the
Our
floors,
family, her
and
job,
I was
have
about
made
to make it
multiple
out of the
offers and taken
lava.
many steps to open that door for her to go back to work.
That is
That is
cheating.
Nanny. MIL moved into
It
help.
wasn't
Cheater.
I work
cheating.
from home.
It's
That's
a
not
flex.
cheating.
Per-in
You're
schedule.
using
I had to
etc.
use my pearl,
etc.
otherwise I was
But
dying.
here we are.
You gave me
I
a
am and have been
pickaxe.
in
I'm gonna
therapy for
use my
myself already.
pickaxe.
I'm going to
What I
clear
do
your
with it,
pickaxe
My
then.
work can be very
What
debilitating
is
in
the
regard to
pickaxe
my
for?
mental health as well as
It's because I
physical
wanted to
time.
break some of the blocks
Since I
that you were
can't find
putting
the
down.
support I need mentally and physically at home
I'm
with
not-
my
I-
wife,
Yes,
I've opted to attend therapy
Raster!
rather than find comfort with someone outside of the home
We
or at
did
the
it.
bottom of a bottle.
Somehow died.
I've tried to express this to
Oh,
my
I
wife
have to
and
wait
as
for the
mentioned
lava
in
to
my
get up to
previous
me. I'm
post.
too good,
She has a
bro.
habit of one-upping me. And here we are. My in-laws are still married. Given the circumstances in our home, my MIL moved in to help out my wife, while my SIL and her family moved back into their parents' house due to their own reasons. SIL and her family can save money while getting back on their feet, and my wife and I benefit from MIL's help, and we can keep a closer eye on her.
Alright, we're about to head up,
monthly
boys.
treatments.
I don't.
My wife, by means of questionnaires, is highly suspected to have PPD alongside with a history of symptomatic OCD,
others-
ADHD, amongst other ailments that
It
over the
is.
years she
No.
refused to get evaluated for or refused to accept results given. I knew what I was getting into, and I loved and accepted.
You know what? I want to be with you
She
guys
did mine
when I
at
do
the
it.
time. Spare me your
So
gut.
we
I
have to
don't feel
complete
sorry
it
for you.
together.
or pity.
No man left
Yeah.
behind.
I am like every other
No man left
who fell
behind.
in love and wanted
And
to
then
give
let me give
my
everyone
best
the
of
stuff
me
they
in the
need.
world I can offer. But again,
Shadow Flare punched me
there are
off
many
of the
men who
world.
identify strongly with
Chat,
traditional
I-
Alright, this is all the stuff we're gonna need.
ideology who
I didn't
claim
get
to
an
say
ender
that I am
pearl.
simping over my wife. While I respect your opinions and perspectives,
I
will
wasn't even
outright
on
say
my
that if
screen.
this situation were only
I didn't get a pearl.
I would have left.
I gave you another pearl, so now you're lying.
In a previous
I know,
topic that
I'm
stuck
literally
out.
not.
I am the kind of person
It's
who
the
would
it's a
vote for
it's a command for at Rast
Perhaps it was meant to be
PNG. That's
different
funny.
context, but I am committed to protecting my children from any physical or mental harm. I am willing to metaphorically take the bullet as needed. I believe that other fathers would similarly respond to the duty to protect their children, and that's why I
Who
endured
says
as
it
much
like
as I
that?
have.
Who's
For
breathing
the
into
time
their
being,
mic?
I would
bro?
prefer that my wife direct any problems towards me rather than our kids. Thank you all for the comments and reaching out. I've met many strangers who have become great Reddit pen pals and some who have been in the know of every step that has been progressing to this point. I am surprised at how far this has gone. From other subreddits, other platforms, and even YouTube. Love me, hate me, say it's all fake. No matter where you stand, thank you for
Bro
all the
is not
constructive comments
submitting
and
to the
DMs to check
haters.
in. Our kids and myself are going to be alright moving forward.
Just breathing into their mouth.
Now for the update. The end of an era.
Is
I don't know.
Bro.
This will be shorter than some
It's not me.
expect,
My
as
mic
really
is nowhere
there's not
near my
much to say,
face.
But just satiate the questions some of you may have had and give people the satisfaction
Oh.
of a so moment on Reddit. After a hard push from our
Yuri,
the
you
end,
actual
my wife
feller.
and I finally
Alright,
attempted to go
well.
to marriage counseling. I'm sure many of you can guess how well that went. Blame, tears, regrets,
Go
gaslighting,
Shadow Flare.
with a side of I am the reason for her
Shadow,
life
I
being
believe
ruined
in-
and horrible. Again. Just this time in front of a licensed therapist instead of Reddit or mom groups. In the end, everything the
Instead of
therapist
a
suggested and
licensed
done went over her
therapist
head
instead
and
of
ignored as
Reddit.
it was against the grain of her status quo.
Dude,
One thing I guess worth
never
saying
have I
was the
ever heard
therapist
a
asked if
more
she could
cursed
recall when
thing.
she last truly felt happy. Her response was about 12 or so years ago. Please note, 12
Go-
years ago
go,
she
Shadow,
was still
Shadow,
in her
go.
20s childless. Living with her ex. A vastly
You ready to
different
use your
time and
pearl?
By the
position.
way, if you guys get to the
I
end,
know
you
it's
will
petty
both
of
be
me, but I
dying.
guess if that's when she was last
Okay.
happy, it wouldn't
Because
be
of
that
your
far
skill
a stretch
issue?
for her
It's
to
just
find that
practice.
happiness
It's
again
practice.
since
I was the
Reddit
person who
was
beat it
the
last time. Shut up.
job and place in life that he was 12 years ago. Which is fine, if that's how you want to live life. I try not to judge, but in my 40s with kids, going clubbing 3-4 days a week is not my jam anymore. And of course, I don't want my kids around a mom and company who drowns themselves in White Claw.
bro, I was actually gonna
To add,
cry
I know
if they
someone
made
asked.
Forge Relics
I
like
know
live
can
steal and we
confirm
didn't
she
have
hasn't
her.
physically cheated on me, but can't confirm if she did emotionally.
Yuri, what are you
That's the right
doing?
term.
That was
After said
literally not
therapy
me.
Session, I checked all her
You
phone
stepped
records
on
and
the
didn't
thing
see
before
anything
I
out of the
got
ordinary.
onto it.
But I also didn't bother to check apps like IG or
Are
Snap.
you
Did I?
kidding me?
I know I'm probably boring, but shout out to all the Costco dads who
If I-
had a fun day and
Costco
making
dad!
kids for samples.
down.
The following weekend was
We're
Father's
Costco
Day,
guys.
and this year is expected not that
We're
big of a
Costco guys. Of
celebration
course we
as
like
many
big oily
dads
big
do.
Don't have our stuff.
Our family got together to celebrate with
Here,
the
Yuri,
baby
to make it
during
up to
a
you.
simple family time, and my wife
Get
treated
in.
it like any other. Sleep in, get up,
How?
I was gonna make it up to you, bro.
kids, phone.
I don't know if I want to now.
Said family
Give me a
BBQ.
pearl.
My
I
wife
need
said she
that.
felt ill,
We can do
so she
That's-
struggled
that's-
most of the day, while the
that's
rest
your
of the family
makeup.
as a whole made the experience enjoyable.
Well,
I
When
need
everything
don't
was
want
set
a
up and the
pickaxe.
family all sat at the table, her parents and sister's family, my mother,
if it
our
had
kids,
efficiency 5 on
admittingly,
it, oh
was a
boy,
great
would I
spread.
do some
Nothing
trolling.
extravagant, but just a great
If
meal
you
for
did that, I would ban you.
I was conversing
That's
with my
bad.
brother-in-law
Yeah.
about both of our kids'
Oh.
school Father's Day activities, and I assume my wife overheard when I mentioned that it was a little sad to see some kids sit alone without their fathers during the breakfast buffet. She blurted out with a laugh loud enough for the whole room to hear, "It's not like you do anything anyway. I could have gone instead." At that moment I was red and at a loss for words, sitting there processing what she said in my head, while the dining room went dead silent.
How far behind me
I
are
was
you
a
guys?
pickaxe
And in
the-
response said,
like right behind you. I
"Maybe
was a
if you feel that
pickaxe
way,
the-
one of you should divorce the other." My wife looked at my MIL.
Well,
confused
that didn't
she
work
would
out.
respond with that and laughed mockingly. and
Clearly.
Shadow Flare
with
was
her hand pointing at me and
in
said,
literally
as if
in
another
me.
woman would want a man like him.
I love
Because
look
we
at
were
you.
so I
While
tried
the
to
room
wait
sat
a
silent.
second
I
so
was angry,
I would give him some
heartbroken,
space so he could actually see
embarrassed all
and
at
then
the
I
same
lost my
time.
moment.
In manly man fashion,
You just hear
I
an
just nodded my head in
explosion. Shadow
silence,
Flare has
stood
been
up
blown
and
up
picked
by a
my keys
TNT
and got in
marker.
my truck and drove off to
Raster,
get a
are you
drink
just
while
gonna
trying
kill
to
yourself?
ignore the
You
cries
should.
of the rest of the family and our
Whoa.
telling me to stay. I don't know what
Kinda
was
mean.
done while I was out of the house the rest of Sunday, because I couldn't bring myself to check our house cameras. But when I returned
Yuri,
early
you're
Monday morning,
AFK.
the house had a completely different feel. As usual,
Why?
I woke up
Why
around
would
6
you
and
build
got the
that?
house and our oldest ready for school drop-off. checked emails, checked messages.
Skibbity,
Nothing out of the
skibbity,
ordinary.
wherever
You
you
have
may
to
be.
wait for me to give
My
the
wife laid in our bed
thing.
snoring.
You want the
Won't you come
things,
home
right?
and
Look at her and
Won't
think
you
of
come
me.
home and edge
And
with
now
me?
lost. I've decided I'm done.
What if
I can't do this anymore. I texted my lawyer that morning to move forward with search.
Gary, I
Fast forward
swear
last
to
week, she was served at our home.
You are
Reminder to people.
no one gets cobblestone now because of you.
She had, I guess, what you could call a mini
So we're all
meltdown
gonna
and
die
came
at
into
that
my
part,
office
I
screaming,
guess.
How could I do
I'm just
this?
gonna have to
Her
quickly
mother
put in the
intervened,
command
and that
because
was
of
met
you.
with me
You are the
supposedly turning the
problem.
whole family against her. But I
My
digress.
principal tells me
I
that
probably
every
would've felt
single day
bad
at
if it
school.
wasn't immediately followed by the rest of her
Shadow,
week
do
back,
it.
as if she's been this active and attentive wife
Do
for
what?
the past few years.
I don't know what you're
Some
talking
people
about.
can say she's making an attempt, but she's making
What are you gonna do to me?
And historically, we fall back to
Oh
her.
my-
Okay, well apparently he's
For
gonna
those
do it to
curious, I am
himself.
aiming for full or at least majority custody of our
I didn't
kids.
know what I was doing.
I already and will continue to cover all the expenses for
What
our kids.
happened?
Insurance, tuition. Both of our kids are who will be attending private schools come fall. Medical bills, etc. My MIL has given me the courage and strength that helped supplement my own mother's support throughout this. Basically, she is what I hoped the kind of mother-wife my wife would have been to our kids and me. Out of respect for my MIL as well as per my own mother's shared wishes, I will continue to help oversee and contribute financial help if needed during her treatment.
Ah!
While some may feel I
scary.
should cut their whole family off, I know the hardships pushed onto a family while dealing with cancer and have dealt with it firsthand as a family member and care provider on both sides of the desk. All in all, I'm prepared to go to war if needed, but I just want a clean no-fuss divorce. My wife has no alimony.
Oh yeah, I need to go
So
back
sorry
into
for
this
the Redditors
mode.
and mommy gang Facebook groups saying she needs to divorce me first and get that sweet, sweet alimony money. 1.
That's sweet,
We live in a
sweet
state that does not
alimony
typically
money.
enforce alimony. 2. She has a means of gainful employment immediately. 3. To help curb any possible problems,
Does
I will
F1
cover her
help?
insurance and bills until either divorce is
No, it's just so that
finalized or
it
when
feels
she
like one
gains
of
full
those
employment.
Reddit story
Oh,
videos.
yeah.
I'm done and waiting.
I gotta. It helps me lock
Or
in.
the commentary
Sorry,
videos,
it
you know?
wasn't as exciting
Like,
of a story.
yeah.
as the plot
KSI
twists as some may
situation
have
just
hoped
got
for,
even
but that's
worse.
life. Not
Yeah, I
sure
know, but I've
once
Reddit stories
it's
playing in
all
the background.
finalized.
That's where this whole idea
Probably
came
won't
for.
be for a few more months,
Came
depending if we
from
go to war
me
or
and
not.
Shadow hopped in a
I found out that
parkour
my
world
mother and my fiance
and turned
had been
Reddit
obsessed
stories
for the
on in the
past few
background.
years. Leading
Man,
up
it
to the
really
birth of
sucks
my
that
younger
the command blocks don't work
My
sometimes.
fiance, 25,
Yeah.
and myself,
It's really
24,
bad in
had been
the
together
in
since
the
we were
world me and
17,
Shadow
18
did
years
before.
old. Honestly, he was always kind, handsome,
Just don't
funny,
step on the
and
fire,
everyone used to
sir.
say I was so lucky to have the whole package.
Oh,
I felt
Shadow
so-
No,
Oh,
Shadow! Shadow!
So this makes
You are
it
going to
just
get
so
touched
shocking
tonight.
for me.
Okay, anyways,
I have
let me
always
give
had a
everyone
good
the
relationship with my mom. It has always been her and I against
Not
the
fair.
world.
Why do you guys
My
have
dad
snowballs
died in
night
an
at home?
accident when I was little.
because we got them from
We
the
always
actual
joked that we were the
parkour.
real
Okay, no, get out
No
here.
more girls.
Oh, wait.
My mom dated guys on and off, and they were usually nothing really past the early stages. Around 4 years ago, my mom told me she was pregnant, which was a huge surprise. My
No,
mom was
my
around 42 years
cobblestone.
old, and although she was sort of dating someone
It's
recently,
okay, I got a
Yuri, how do you still have the diamond pickaxe? I cleared your inventory.
she never thought she
Okay, I
was
still got a few
pregnant.
extra.
She had me when she was super young.
How many do you
Wait,
have?
She was stressed and
How
worried.
many do you
I
have?
decided to support her
No.
since she has always supported me and tried to
How
reassure me.
much cobblestone do I
She then
have?
had my brother, who is
37.
now 3 years old.
How? I
have a
cleared
close
your
relationship with my
inventory.
brother. I have helped take
The one
care
the
of him
clear
since he was
doesn't
born,
clear.
and I just love the
I
little
can
guy.
do some silly.
I might have done
Fiance was
slash
also
clear
always
raster
helpful with my brother.
PNG, so that might have
We
been
would
an
take him out
oopsie
for ice cream.
doopsie.
I can do. I can do
Time
some
during summer,
silliness
etc.
with this
But nothing
cobblestone.
was
I'm gonna
weird.
shoot myself.
He was just
If you
like
do
my
any
brother.
silliness, I'm going to.
My brother and I.
But
how I
I'm
felt.
going to just get a command block that always summons
We've been living
TNT
together
on
since
you.
We finished college.
That would mess
He was
you
not at
guys
home
up.
because
Yeah,
he
that
was
messed
hanging
us
out
up.
I know,
with
but it'd
friends.
be
But I stayed
but it'd
home
be
because
kind
I
of
didn't
funny.
feel like
It'd
going
be
out
kind of
with
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, the
silly.
silliness would be kind of
At some
funny.
point during binge watching a series on Netflix, my laptop died, and I was too lazy to get my charger.
His
So I
laptop
used
died
my
now.
fiance's iPad instead. I know the password, but had never used it before. The iPad logged in, and I
Oh my
received
god,
a
that's
bunch
the
of
first time I've
messages.
got a minecart that's like
I guess he
passing
hasn't
by.
used it in a while either. Anyway,
Shut up, Shadow.
my
It
attention,
was.
and I went to check it out.
Erie, what are you doing?
Found
You're
everything.
going to kill all of us.
Number
Why
wasn't
did you
saved
put a
under her
block
name,
down
But I
there?
recognized it and
I tried to see if I
she
could
was
stop
telling him she
the
felt
block,
guilty and that
you know?
he said he also felt guilty.
I got the time save. I got the time save. I got the
She said it was
minecart
unfair
skip,
for my
bro.
brother
I got
to
the
never know
minecart
his
skip.
death and asked if he could live
Raster,
having
why
his
do you
son around
why do you
and
have
not behaving like a
you have a
dad as
diamond pickaxe?
brother-in-law.
Also, Raster,
I
netherite
wrote down,
pickaxe.
what the actual F?
Yeah, that's because I had to break
There weren't
your
a lot of
I
stupid
wrote
messages.
down
stuff.
what
Just
the
some
actual
photos
F?
stored of my brother as a newborn, my mom pregnant, and more photos of my brother growing up in an album.
Wait a
I couldn't anymore. I cried for what seemed like ages, and I waited for my BF to come back home. I wish I was one of those women that can pretend and get things together before confronting the cheater, but I can't. He came back later.
This is a different story?
3:30, and I just gave him the iPad with the conversation opened and saw his face completely go pale. I asked for an explanation. When? How? Why? And he didn't want to at first, but knew he had to. Apparently,
she doesn't deserve you, King.
I was traveling with some friends, girls trip. My fiance and mom had dinner together. This isn't strange since he has been part of the family for so long.
I thought that was the
Sometimes mom and fiance would
Watch
eat
the
together,
Shadow Flare
even if
fumble
I was
again.
busy with sports or out. I did the same with his parents.
Do it now, Shadow.
Somehow, unclear how since he couldn't explain it well, one thing led to another and they ended up sleeping together. They felt guilty, but apparently
How do
not
all
guilty.
of the stories have
BC,
that?
they slept together 2-3 more times, using the excuse
Oh,
of
yeah.
to
So
discuss
you
their
accidentally
health.
sleep together the
Apparently,
first
when
time,
my mom
and then
got
you
pregnant,
decide
they
to
stopped
sleep
sleeping together and decided to not tell me.
Second and
Since my
third
fiance
time.
loved me and couldn't lose me,
Only
and my
Shadow
mom
Flare
didn't
can
want to lose her
relate.
daughter. So here we are now,
you
with two of
love
the most
your
disgusting
fiance?
humans. I obviously
Then you
broke the
wouldn't
engagement,
sleep
told
with
my mom to
another
never talk to me
dumbass
again and
man.
move in with a friend. I feel bad for my
Another
brother since I
man.
really love him, but I can't be around him now. I just can't. I feel like it would remind me of all those times we talked about having kids. I would be his baby
What?
mama.
We're
only
gonna
baby
have
mama.
What?
kids.
We talked about this future since we were
Go,
17
Shadow.
years
Wait,
old.
are you guys
So I
gonna
wanna
die
puke
because
every
I'm
time
not
I think
there?
how I was actually taking
Yeah.
care of his child with someone else
Yay.
while still having those dreams. I want to puke.
Nice one.
Comments were mostly
Slash
supportive,
kill at
with a
it.
few telling their own stories of cutting parents off and a couple
All
of
right.
tales of spouses sleeping with parents.
No!
How is this even a thing?
No!
People are crazy.
That's not fair. Alright, let's go.
Update 1. To the update.
Come on.
As I was afraid, I was indeed confronted near my office this
Shadow.
week.
Shadow, did you get
I
all
knew
the
this
stuff
was
you
coming,
need?
but
Look
thought maybe I
above
had more
you.
time. My ex
Oh my
God.
You know what? Here, you
Yesterday,
can suck.
Wednesday, after finishing work and walking to
I'll
where
do
my
this
car
by
was parked,
myself.
my ex was sort of lingering,
Okay.
waiting around. I thought about running. Not gonna lie,
Thanks,
but I guess in the moment I
Raster.
felt strong enough to get over it, instead of having that hanging above my head waiting to be approached.
I'm
again.
sorry.
He asked if we could talk, and I said yes, but I didn't
All
Alright,
go.
come in.
conversation over coffee like we were old friends. It felt ridiculous, so I told him to just
Both of you, calm down.
we were in the streets, but somehow
I'm going to put both of you in adventure
But
mode if
also
you don't
not
shut up.
I'm gonna stop
Felt right.
eating myself.
he basically said sorry 100 times and that I
No.
deserved better.
Stop being emo,
I agreed.
Shadow.
He said he did love me and that he still does, but he would understand why I wouldn't want anything to do with him.
I
He
heard
said that if I did in fact consider giving him a chance.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do TNT minecart skip if I want any chance at surviving here.
Oh my god,
I
he's
told
so
him it wasn't
good.
possible. There was too much damage.
No, I've done it twice so far. Neither of the times it was intentional, but I did do it twice.
Anyways, he did say that he is in the or will be. It was a
You
bit
got
of a blur.
this, Shadow.
Process of
Or
getting custody,
Raster. I
partly
believe in
from
you.
my brother, and that he in fact does want to be a dad to him.
Oh my
He
god,
said
this is
he
one
does
of my
not
best
want to be
faces.
together with my mom. That it was just a stupid mistake.
I can tell because
Sure,
I'm further in the
BC4.
note block.
You're
Five
getting
times is just a
together
random
with
thing.
your mom.
He couldn't explain why he did it in the
Yeah,
first
that's
place.
what I
I
heard.
think he doesn't even know himself. I
What
asked if he
is
cheated
this?
with someone else before.
I'm pretty sure her brother's getting together with her mom.
Believe it, but he sounded honest. I asked
Her
why he didn't
brother.
come clean, and he said that after he did the deed, he always felt panicked
Ah!
and hit him that he could lose him, and he just didn't want it. I told him it was meant to be found out. That what was
I'm
his
one
plan?
heart.
To have
You
my
got this,
brother
Raster.
around and ignore their relationship forever. He said
No!
he didn't think far enough and that he was basically going with the
There goes
idea
Erie
one day.
Ecozilla.
I
Erie.
asked him if he felt that my mom
Give me
seduced
one more. Ah!
He said it was mutual, which made me want to puke again. I asked if he has had any contact with my mom.
Shadow,
since
should
I
we just
found out.
reset right
He
now
said yes,
because
but
we
mostly
can't
about
get
my
Erie
brother.
back?
Didn't elaborate
We
more,
can't
and
beat
I
the
didn't
thing
press
without
for
him.
More info on that. He said he told his parents
Yeah,
the
you
day
guys should
before,
just
or the day
restart.
before that not sure.
If you
Mom,
keep
Tuesday,
letting once, I
about
swear to
everything.
God.
The parents were not happy, but they are glad to start building a relationship with
Raster
my
angrily
brother, their grandkid.
That was
Honestly,
me.
all of this felt like a punch in my stomach. I don't know why. The parents wanted to contact me, but he told them to wait
Oh
till
no,
he approached me
Raster is
first.
angry at
That's why he was here.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
me.
I said if he started or thought about the custody before I found out, and he said no.
There's so many.
That was like the push he needed.
I'm sorry.
Great. Seems I helped him
I
get
was
his
a
shit
little,
together.
I was a little
And this
mischievous.
past week he was arranging all
I
of
was
that
a
mess.
little
That's why he hasn't
mischievous.
tried to see me before. He sounded and looked defeated, but the whole thing made me, besides sad, angry. I was mainly depressed before.
Okay,
but now
he's
I'm
hitting me.
furious.
He's hitting
I
me.
feel like he is
No,
still in an okay
no.
place and he isn't paying for his actions beyond
I'm
me leaving him.
sorry.
He will have my brother,
No, I'm
his
genuinely
parents,
mad.
and others and move on with his life. While While I
If you do it one more time, you're actually just gonna
we
get
parted ways
banned.
not on a happy note, and I told him to.
Alright, stop hitting each other.
I was done. He asked me to see my
He's the one who did that. He
I
did
was
that.
important to him and tried to guilt trip me, and it worked. But I still think.
Stop!
Stop
I
hitting
don't know
me!
much about my mom. I really hope she
You're
doesn't come to me
annoying.
anytime soon because
Stop
I'm
hitting
right
me.
now and won't be able to handle it.
Don't.
I will be
please.
contacting my family and friends and finally doing the blasting
Really,
today.
God.
I think it is about time, and after my talk with him, I got the
I
extra
miss
push
my
I
I'm
needed.
big guy.
going to betray
Editor's note.
this team.
Top
I
comments
can
suggested moving
still
to Australia.
troll
Can't fault
Shadow.
that.
Why are you gonna betray me? We should just all betray
A lot
Erie
has
again, bro.
I did the blasting, and this
Do
is
it.
how it went down. I first posted.
What, are you gonna become a
FB
Vexy
group.
Glazer again?
This is from my mom's
I
family.
was never no. Mana
used
Code was a
inspiration
Vexy
of what you
Glazer.
all
I was
suggested
never a
in my
Vexy
last
Glazer.
post and
All I
said
said
something around
was
the
he was
lines
good at
of,
PvP.
I wanna
I never said
communicate to you
like
all that
Mana
my
Code.
wedding
Oh,
with
we
Dex
need
has been
Vexy. Oh
permanently
my god,
canceled
Vexy.
since I
Oh
found
my
out
god,
that my
Vexy.
mom
What a
named
Yeah.
nice
and my
move you
ex
did on
named
Dusty there. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God.
few years
Yeah,
a sexual relationship which resulted in the birth of my
He
little
would
brother,
now tell
Nate.
Vexy to
I had
reset
no clue of any of
character,
this,
but
and
not
I
say
found out
reset
about it last
character.
I won't have a relationship with
Rasher, you've
Nate,
told me to kill
Mom,
myself
and
many
ex
times, so I don't
Nate.
need to
I
say it.
definitely have.
I would appreciate your understanding, and I felt it was only fair to let you know of the situation. Since
I gotta be family friendly because Shadow's streaming.
This election cycle has already been quite a ride.
Yo, you're
Just
still
getting started.
streaming? Yeah.
Scared, nauseous,
I might be
just-
cooked, guys.
The only way
Erie Ecozilla!
check out a new episode of Pod's in America on your favorite podcast
You
platform.
both
But you
just ran
were being
into
way
the
too
wedding.
close behind me, bro.
transparency and honesty above all.
Why'd you both?
I also included a screenshot of my mother's message. What I said to her once I found out, and a
coming
message she
back here.
managed to write back before I blocked her. Didn't
Hey,
open the message
guys.
till before the blast.
Shadow, I
I
just
didn't want to hear, read her, and be persuaded. It exploded. I had family reaching out via text and calling the whole day after the
I
blast.
swear to God.
I would say
If I see a single blog,
I could tell they were just shocked. There were
Come on
some
in.
neutral and some suspicious that it wasn't the whole story and maybe I misunderstood.
okay,
What the
both of
My
you.
grandparents were in the maybe you misunderstood category, which wasn't surprising since my mom is super close to my grandparents, and like I said before,
Raster, be my
mom was always a
Raster,
good
help!
so no red flags. I will be moving with a cousin that is more
Yeah,
like a
so-
sister to me. I
Betray
haven't reached
Shadow
out to her
Flare, bro.
previously because
Stop!
she knew
Both
who
of you,
I was.
stop!
That's why I went to my friend's place. My cousin is devastated on my behalf and offered to live with her and her 2 kids until I can get my feet on the ground.
I need
accepted
an
and will be
ender pearl.
moving next week. I'm a bit afraid this will give my
Why do you
mom
not have an
easier
ender pearl?
access to me, but I
I
can't
don't
stay at my
know.
friend's
You didn't
place
give me
forever.
one?
I then proceeded quickly to post a
I
similar
gave everyone
message
an ender
online.
pearl,
We
so I
share
think you're
most
just
of our friends
acoustic.
since high school and local university.
What?
Friends on Instagram.
That's not very nice.
I created a close friend story and tagged most of them too. This went
Get
sort
out
of
of my
viral
face.
in our friend group. Actually, one of my friends sent me my Reddit post and asked if this was me. I confirmed. They were also shocked and speechless. They never thought my ex would even remotely do anything
I
like
didn't
this.
mean to! I
They said
didn't
he
mean
was crazy
to!
about you. Oh well, apparently he went overboard on the crazy part.
Hold up.
The
I'm
group of friends is
rethinking
divided
my
ATM.
decisions.
Some are
here.
completely on my side, and some are thinking it isn't the whole truth. I told everyone that reached out that if they don't believe me
you
to ask
keep
their friend if he is
killing me.
asking for custody of my little brother. That kind of shit.
What would happen if I went
My ex
/ban
deleted
at A?
You banned
Also, my ex's parents called me like I guess they would.
Even yourself.
They were kind to me and were very sorry about it.
I mean, that would be kind
I
of
got the
silly
feeling
Billy,
they were
though.
also overwhelmed and very
Okay, do
disappointed.
it then.
However,
Do
it
it.
was clear they will be supporting their son.
Erie, join
They
back
are very
now.
upset at
or
my
you-
mother and don't want anything to do with her, but not sure how that will work with my little brother and everything else.
Okay, I'm
They tried to
joining.
give me info about the custody and what is my ex.
Let's just go play Parkour
But I
Paradise.
shut
Let's
that
go play
down
Parkour
quickly and
Paradise
told them
and
I
calm
don't want
down.
any info. I want to
No,
move
we
on.
haven't beat this.
I also asked them to not reach out in the
No,
near future.
before we go
I
in,
needed distance, especially if they will be supporting
get
my
out.
ex. He is living with his
get out of the
parents.
thingy.
Also, my ex and my mother, after the blast, were going nuts
You
trying
might
to
wanna
reach out
get
to
it.
me. They tried
Bye,
calling
Raptor.
my friend, who she blocked them,
He's
and
just
reaching
gonna.
out from different numbers. I had to put my phone on silent.
I'm trying to give you guys the stuff so that we can
However,
actually
my mother
beat
sent
it.
me a long text from another number, and that was a weird text. She said that I was being cruel and that she didn't think she raised me that way. She said she thought we had a better relationship than me blasting
let's
out
go.
laundry like that without talking to her first.
All right, let's calm
I
down.
didn't
Let's
have
be
the whole
friends. Let's
picture.
be friends.
She
Shadow,
did
why do you look
mention
like
something
that?
that
Please
confused
change
me.
your skin.
She said in her long ass text that the reason she slept with my ex is because he reminded him of my dad. That it was grief. That she didn't mean to use him to heal her pain, but she wasn't strong enough. I don't even know what that means.
Dude,
Like,
Crazy
did she
Apple
think
was
that my
swearing
ex
like
was physically
crazy
like my dad?
on Forge Relics. I don't think
personality?
he's old enough to
Or
be
what?
swearing, bro. I'm gonna
I
be
have seen
honest.
photos of my
Wait,
dad, and well,
when?
yay, my ex isn't super different, but also
Bro,
not super young.
he kept calling
I
me,
mean, they
"You're
show
such
brown,
an
dirty blonde
entitled
hair,
piece of shit,"
blue
and I'm
eyes,
like, bro,
white
I don't
skin.
think you're old enough to
But
be
that's
saying
not
that.
No, he's like in love with
I don't
its
see
Void
what I-
though, and Void's older
I
than
don't
me.
know.
Aww.
That threw me for a loop and honestly makes me want to confront my mom just to know what the hell. From
I tried to
Void
boost
50?
not
Aerie.
expecting that.
Yeah,
I'm holding on
boost.
better.
Yeah.
I don't cry every hour or
I
want to
did, I
murder them.
swear.
But I'm still sad and
Whoever
upset, and
is
it
the
just
next
feels
person
like
to
it
hit
isn't my
anyone,
life.
I'm gonna
That it is a
target
big
them
joke or a bad dream, and
until
I
they
will wake up to my normal life.
Oh
I
no,
also
not
need to
Shadow
really
for
start planning my
targeting me.
future and
Oh
start
no.
applying for
I'm gonna
jobs in other
perfectly
cities,
end her.
or maybe check the possibilities.
Pretty
abroad.
sure Shadow's better than you at
I
PvP,
might
so
ask
that would
for
probably not go well
3
for
days
you.
off work
Yeah.
to really
Shadow, why
start
did you die?
and do some research. I'm terrified,
Why
TBH.
not?
I feel
That's
frozen.
what he meant by
but I know I
torture.
need to start moving.
Okay, here you go,
Editor's
Raptor.
note. This one has some funny comments. Commenter 1. That mom is
Skibbity.
hilarious. I thought I raised you better. I never in a million
Shadow!
years thought you'd fuck my boyfriend.
Stop!
But here we are.
Arrested.
Commenter 2. My petty ass would be sending her that commenter 3. Right. The irony of her blaming you for airing laundry when she did that. Commenter 4.
Skibbity.
The laundry
Come
wouldn't be
on.
dirty if you hadn't fucked my boyfriend on it.
We're gonna go
Am
play.
I the A for telling my girlfriend she overreacted after walking in on her son and his girlfriend cuddling while undressed on vacation?
What?
June 28th, 2024.
Why did Erie
names
leave
are
the
fake.
group?
I am 48 years old and have
Get Erie back here.
I didn't hear you.
Oh wait, I don't know. I think Erie left the team because of that. 1 second. Why did he also left private info? Why'd you leave the? Why'd you leave the?
What they say?
I think he's. I have no clue.
You want?
Why'd you leave?
Why did you leave?
Oh my god, dude, you guys are so annoying. That's why.
Okay, well at least you stayed in the group this time. Hmm. Since when did we not like Erie? I think my Chick-fil-A's here.